अंग यानी आज का बिहार, बंग यानी आज का बंगाल और कलिंग यानी आज का उड़ीसा। कलिंग उस समय हिंद महासागर के समुद्री व्यापार का एक छत्र सम्राट था। कलिंग के बंदरगाह पूरे एशिया तक भारत के उत्पादों को पहुंचाते थे। वही अंग सूत, रेशम और अन्य व्यापार के साथ साथ नालंदा और विक्रमशिला जैसे एजुकेशन सेंटर्स का भी हब था। और बंग वो सांस्कृतिक धरती थी जहां से भारत की आत्मा की आवाज उठती थी। साथियों, गुलामी के कालखंड में जैसे जैसे समृद्ध भारत के मजबूत पिलर कमजोर होते गए, भारत का सामर्थ्य भी क्षीण होता गया। इसलिए विकसित भारत के निर्माण के लिए इन तीनों स्तंभों का फिर से मजबूत होना बहुत आवश्यक है। और मुझे बहुत गर्व है कि अंग, बंग और कलिंग ने इस महाअभियान के लिए बीजेपी को चुन लिया है, एनडीए पर भरोसा किया है। साथियों, विकसित भारत के निर्माण का एक और महत्वपूर्ण पिलर भारत की नारी शक्ति है। नारी शक्ति अब विकसित भारत के निर्माण में तेजी से आगे बढ़ रही है। लेकिन नारी शक्ति की इस रफ्तार को कांग्रेस और उसके सहयोगियों ने कुछ दिन पहले रोकने का काम किया है। इन नारी विरोधी दलों ने संसद में नारी शक्ति वंदन संशोधन को पास नहीं होने दिया और इसलिए मैंने कुछ दिन पहले कहा भी था कि महिलाओं के आरक्षण का विरोध करने वाले ऐसे दलों को महिलाओं का आक्रोश झेलना पड़ेगा। आज कांग्रेस, टीएमसी और डीएमके को बहनों बेटियों ने सजा दी है। केरल में लेफ्ट के 10 सालों के कुशासन का फायदा कांग्रेस को जरूर मिला है, लेकिन मुझे विश्वास है केरल की बहनें भी अगले चुनावों में कांग्रेस को जरूर सबक सिखाएगी। साथियों, जिस समाजवादी पार्टी ने संसद में महिला आरक्षण को रोका है, उसे भी यूपी की महिलाओं का आक्रोश सहना पड़ेगा। महिला विरोधी समाजवादी पार्टी कुछ भी करके अपने पाप को कभी धुल नहीं पाएगी। साथियों, आज हम भारत की राजनीति में एक और बड़ा बदलाव देख रहे हैं। आज पूरे देश में एक भी राज्य ऐसा नहीं है जहां कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी की सरकार हो। एक भी नहीं है। ये सिर्फ सियासत का बदलाव नहीं है, ये सोच का बदलाव है। ये बताता है कि विकसित होता हुआ भारत किस दिशा में आगे बढ़ना चाहता है। आज का भारत अवसर चाहता है, विकास चाहता है, विश्वास चाहता है। आज का भारत प्रगति चाहता है, स्थिरता चाहता है और आज का भारत ऐसी राजनीति चाहता है जो देश को आगे बढ़ाए। लेकिन साथियों, दुर्भाग्य से आज की कांग्रेस बिल्कुल विपरीत दिशा में चल पड़ी है। ऐसे समय में जब पूरा देश कम्युनिज्म से किनारा कर चुका है, कांग्रेस उसी विचारधारा को अपनाने में लगी है जिसे देश ने ठुकरा दिया है। जो माओवाद जंगलों में समाप्त हो रहा है, वो अब कांग्रेस में अपनी जड़ें मजबूत कर चुका है और इसलिए कांग्रेस अर्बन नक्सलियों का गिरोह बनती जा रही है। कांग्रेस को एक बात नहीं भूलनी चाहिए, जिस विचार को जनता ने ठुकराया उसे जो अपनाएगा जनता उसे भी ठुकराएगी। साथियों, आज देश का हर राज्य भी एक दूसरे से लड़कर नहीं, एक दूसरे के साथ मिलकर आगे बढ़ना चाहता है। इन चुनावों ने इस संदेश को भी बहुत स्पष्ट किया है। बंगाल, तमिलनाडु और केरल में जिन 3 सरकारों को जनता ने सत्ता से बाहर किया, उनकी एक समान पहचान थी, विभाजन की राजनीति। यही उनकी पहचान थी। उनकी राजनीति जोड़ने की नहीं, तोड़ने की थी। कभी भाषा के नाम पर विवाद खड़ा किया गया, कभी खाने पीने की आदतों को लेकर समाज को बांटने की कोशिश हुई और कभी अपने ही देश के लोगों को बाहरी तक कहा गया। लेकिन भारत की जनता ने इस राजनीति को साफ जवाब दिया है। देश ने बता दिया है कि उसे विवाद नहीं, विकास चाहिए, विभाजन नहीं, विश्वास चाहिए। साथियों, आजादी के बाद कांग्रेस ने देश के करीब करीब हर राज्य में सरकारें बनाई। ये आजादी के आंदोलन का जो इमोशन था, उसका उनको लाभ मिला था, उसमें से उपजा हुआ जनादेश था। लेकिन जैसे जैसे आजादी के आंदोलन का इमोशन से आगे निकल करके देश धरातल के काम पर लौटा, वैसे वैसे कांग्रेस जनता का भरोसा खोती चली गई। बीते दशकों में देश ने युवाओं की अनेक पीढ़ियां जोड़ी है, लेकिन कांग्रेस घटती ही चली गई है। कांग्रेस देश की संस्कृति को नहीं समझ पाई, देश की संवेदनाओं को समझ नहीं पाई। कांग्रेस एस्पिरेशंस की राजनीति जानती ही नहीं है। साथियों, बीजेपी के लिए भारत और भारतीयता के भाव से बड़ा और कुछ भी नहीं है। हमारे लिए भारत कुछ है, भारतीयता सब कुछ है। और बीजेपी सिर्फ नेशनल पार्टी है इतना ही नहीं है, ये रीजनल एस्पिरेशन से नेशनल एम्बिशंस को पूरा करने वाली पार्टी है। इसलिए बीजेपी अपने विचार, विजन और विकास के विश्वास पर खरा उतरकर देश की पसंद बन रही है, जनता जनार्दन के आशीर्वाद प्राप्त कर रही है। भाजपा परिवार की नहीं, जमीन से जुड़ी राजनीति करती है। इसलिए आज नॉर्थ ईस्ट भाजपा से जुड़ता है। इसलिए आज पूरा आदिवासी अंचल बीजेपी को इतना प्रचंड जनादेश दे रहा है। इसलिए देश के मछुआरों का भूतपूर्व समर्थन बीजेपी के साथ है। इसलिए देश के किसानों की पसंद बीजेपी है। साथियों, लोकतंत्र में जनता की आकांक्षा सर्वोपरि है। तमिलनाडु की जनता ने एक नया प्रयोग किया है। मैं यूडीएफ को भी बधाई देता हूं। मैं तमिलनाडु और केरलम की जनता को विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि भारत सरकार इन राज्यों के विकास के लिए भी कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर चलेगी। साथियों, हम बंगाल, असम और पुडुचेरी की जनता की हर उम्मीद, हर अपेक्षा को अपनी सेवा से पूरा करेंगे। इसी विश्वास के साथ बंगाल, असम और पुडुचेरी में एक बार फिर से बीजेपी एनडीए को विजयी बनाने के लिए, लोकतंत्र को विजयी बनाने के लिए मैं सभी नागरिकों का, सभी मतदाताओं का और सभी देशवासियों का हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं और सर झुका करके उनका रण स्वीकार करता हूं। मेरे साथ बोलिए, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की। वंदे 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 वंदे।
A measured, weighed and a confident speech by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at a time when the NDA finds itself with the biggest ever footprint across Bharat since 2014, when it was present across 6 states. 2013, 2014 to now, they now encompass nearly 80% of Bharat's population. That's the big win in Bengal. That's the big win in Assam. That's the win or staying on in Puducherry. That is what it has brought the BJP after a few decades of struggle in Bengal and at least 12 to 15 years of pushing through. The BJP going from 0 to 7 to 77 to a whopping 207 on the leaderboard at this point. There are still a few seats that are not yet settled, but what is settled is that the Janta, the people, the voter of Bengal has given an overwhelming mandate and a big thumbs up to Prime Minister Narendra Das Modi, who has dedicated this victory to the struggles of the Bengali Karyakarta, to the struggles of Shama Prasad Mukherjee, to the struggles of those who pushed a nationalist ideology in Bengal at a time there was no space or acreage for the same. Prime Minister also assuring the winners or the victors in Kerala, the UDF, in Tamil Nadu, the TVK, that there will be full and open support from the centre. He's also commended what's happened in Assam, a return of the BJP, a big glowing thumbs up to the incumbent and a massive approval to the leadership of Hemanta Biswa Sarma or the stewardship. The Prime Minister saying what's happened in Assam is historic, and it is, viewers, because never before has a party ever crossed 100. And this time the BJP Plus has. They are 102 on the leaderboard at the moment. The BJP is jubilant, and perhaps the most ever after the disappointment because of not making the numbers on their own in Lok Sabha 2024.
Bengal in charge for the Bharatiya Janata Party and Union Minister, Mr. Pradhan joins us. Mr. Pradhan, badhai ho aapko. Fantastic day, historic day for the BJP, as well as, of course, for BJP also in Assam, not just in Bengal, in Assam, and of course in Puducherry, the NDA. So a great day overall for you. But Pradhan ji, thank you for speaking to us. Your first reaction on the performance of the BJP in Bengal, sir.
My all salute to the decisive voters of West Bengal. For a long time they are intending, they have a desire, strong desire to change the ruling pattern in Bengal, be it 34 years of left regime or be it 15 years of TMC's regime. There was a pattern to govern. The pattern's primary condition was to create fear psychosis, intimidate voters, do atrocity on people. By creating that fear, you own the election. This time, my biggest take of this election is due to impartial approach of Election Commission. People of West Bengal has come out in a big way. They have reposed faith and leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, policies and program of Bharatiya Janata Party, because since last 2.5 decades, we are a natural party of governance in many states. That belief extends to Bengal also. I am grateful to people of Bengal for reposing their faith in Prime Minister Modi and BJP, and they have given a decisive mandate of misrule, misgovernance of Srimati Mamata Banerjee.
प्रधान जी, अगर आप टीएमसी का वर्जन सुने तो काफ़ी अलग है. वो कह रहे हैं कि तमाम बीजेपी ने एक किस्म से षड्यंत्र रचा था हमारे खिलाफ, ईसी को भी इन्वॉल्व किया, सेंट्रल पुलिस फोर्सेस को भी लेके आए, कई दिक्कतें पैदा की कि पूरा जो इलेक्ट्रल फील्ड है अनइवन हो जाए. इस पे आपकी क्या राय है?
देखिए, मैं पहले चुनाव आयोग की निष्पक्ष और सुव्यवस्थित चुनाव के लिए उनको धन्यवाद देता हूं. मैंने जैसे कहा कि पिछले लगभग 50 सालों में बंगाल की जनता को एक निष्पक्ष चुनाव की अवसर कम मिला था. ऐसे नहीं कि बिल्कुल मिला नहीं था, कम मिला था. जब चुनाव आयोग ने सारे कारणों को ध्यान में रखते हुए सुप्रबंधन किया, ये चुनाव आयोग की काम है, हमारे भारत की संवैधानिक व्यवस्था है, उनके अधिकार की विषय है. एसआईआर क्या पहली बार हुई है क्या? देश में पहले भी एसआईआर हुई, होनी नहीं चाहिए क्या? भारत की मतदाता सूची में भारतीय रहेंगे या रोहिंग्या रहेंगे, क्या घुसपैठिया रहेंगे, ये मुद्दा था. क्या देश में गो तस्करी होनी चाहिए? क्या देश में ड्रग माफियाओं का राज बननी चाहिए? क्या बंगाल के मंत्रियों के घर में नोट की पहाड़ दिखना उचित है? क्या उनकी डजन भर मंत्री और प्रमुख नेता जेल के अंदर नहीं रहे? क्या बंगाल के सारे भ्रष्टाचार की तार ममता जी के घर तक, उनकी भाईपो अभिषेक बनर्जी तक नहीं पहुंचता था? प्रजातंत्र कभी भ्रष्टाचारियों को, अत्याचारियों को, क्या ममता जी ने आरजीकर घटना हो या संदेशखाली घटना हो, उस समय में संवेदनहीन और रुचिकर मंतव्य नहीं दिया था महिलाओं के प्रति? ये सारे के कारण है उनकी पराजय.
जमीन पे आपकी रणनीति क्या थी प्रधान जी?
जमीन में रणनीति था गिलहरी जैसे लोगों के घर तक पहुंच के सेतुबंध बांधने के लिए बालू डालो. हम घर घर तक पहुंचे. मैं असंख्य बीजेपी की और हमारे विचार परिवार की तमाम कार्यकर्ताओं को, बंगाल की नौजवानों को, महिलाओं को, किसानों को, आदिवासियों को, दलितों को, वंचितों को, पिछड़ों को आभार प्रकट करता हूं. ये विजय बंगाल की सब जनता ने लड़ा. चुनाव बंगाल की जनता लड़ रहे थे. भारतीय जनता पार्टी अकेला नहीं लड़ रहा था चुनाव, प्रत्याशी नहीं लड़ रहा था, जनता लड़ रहा था. ये सभी का श्रेय है इस नतीजा.
बंसल जी भी आपके साथ जुड़े हुए थे, आरएसएस का भी इसमें काफ़ी एक किस्म से उनका भी कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा। इसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए, जो तालमेल था बीजेपी और आरएसएस के बीच में।
देखो, समाज में तालमेल था ममता जी को हराने के लिए। निश्चित रूप में हमारे संगठन के जो सारथी थे, वो बंसल जी हो या भूपेंद्र यादव जी हो या मंगल पांडे हो या अमित मालवीय हो, ये सब लोग प्रमुखता से कई सालों से बंगाल की रणनीति को बना रहे थे। सर्वोपरि हमारे गृह मंत्री और राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष दोनों की पौनी नजर बंगाल पे था, और सर्वोपरि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी बंगाल की जनता की हृदय तक पहुंचे, जनता की लोगों के दिलों में रहे, अनेक मेहनत किए, भरोसा जताया, भरोसा दिया तो वो लोगों ने भरोसा जताया। बीजेपी कोई भी चुनाव को बड़े गंभीरता से चुनाव लड़ता है। बंगाल की विचार परिवार के लोग असंख्य त्याग किए हैं, अनेक उनकी बलिदान हुई है। बंगाल की बीजेपी कार्यकर्ता अनेक जगह में हम घूमते हैं तो शहीद परिवार हमको मिलते हैं। किस चीज की शहीदी? बंगाल।
Back live, it's the lotus that's blooming in West Bengal as the helicopter rotates here at the CNN News 18 studios. Tech meeting human viewers, but there is big news coming in. Saira Shah Halim, Shubir Malik and Shubir Bhaumik. We've got Sumansi Raman and Amitabh Tiwari in studio. We'll have our other guests also joining us, but there's big news. The story is on the leaderboard as of now. At the bottom of our screen, you see the BJP at 209. It could become 210 if they complete the counting in Bhavanipur, and there's high drama. Ms. Mamata Bandyopadhyay is making a huge allegation. They are not allowing me into the strong room. But when after 16 rounds, Shuvendu Adhikari is leading with 53,932 votes compared to Mamata Banerjee's 53,970 votes. So it's neck and neck. It's neck and neck. Let's listen into Mamata Banerjee. A very slender lead for Mamata Banerjee right now.
And cheated, and this election commission is a BJP commission. Time to time complaint lodge করেছি, even Manoj Agarwalকে complaint lodge করা আছে. I get my complaint at 4 o'clock. I complained CEO West Bengal. Even I sent all the SMS to Manoj Agarwal, but they are not doing anything. Even they didn't allow me. You see my You see my card? They are not allowing me also. Do you think it is winning? It's a immoral victory, not moral victory.
So Mamata Banerjee saying, I have the card, they're not allowing me in. Kamalika joins us with an update that right now Shuvendu Adhikari is leading by 563 votes. What is happening on ground? Kamalika.
563 vote is the margin in which Shuvendu Adhikari leading Bhavanipur. That is something which is, I think, the biggest. Anand, we have always been discussing that Bhavanipur, in this entire match, Bhavanipur, in this entire Mahabharat, Bhavanipur has always been the Kurukshetra, and in this Kurukshetra, 563 lead by Shuvendu Adhikari. Clearly, this is something which is definitely, which is I think the big story of the day. And right now, Mamata Banerjee has left the counting center, and she was very much rattled by saying that people they are trying to make her lose, they have hit her and all those allegations, and literally angry and rattled Mamata Banerjee. The mood that we saw of Mamata Banerjee from the very first day and also on the election poll day, and that's a reflection. And here is the Shuvendu Adhikari's car out here. He is inside and all the supporters are just waiting. If Shuvendu Adhikari, and that's what is likely, wins, that's going to be the biggest win. A second time, Shuvendu Adhikari, not only there is a parivartan in Bengal, but Shuvendu Adhikari for the second time will be wearing the badge of defeating none other than Mamata Banerjee. So a very, very different mood. All the supporters are waiting outside for the final declaration. Youth security deployment everywhere, but it's definitely a very different and a parivartan mood in Bengal.
Yeah, what is different, Kamalika, is where are the Trinamool Congress cadre? Where are the supporters around Mamata Banerjee? She is all alone, it seems, and she's left that place after 16 rounds, another 3 or 4 more rounds to go of counting, and it is Shuvendu Adhikari who's leading. So, is there any merit to the allegations that Mamata Banerjee is making, or has she finding it difficult to resign to the fact that in the heart of Kolkata, in Bhavanipur, where she's never even had to campaign actively, she is actually going to lose? Or could lose, if I may say that.
This is, I think, the biggest absolutely, Anand, this is the biggest setback that Trinamool Congress will be facing when the final results comes out, and if in the final result Shuvendu Adhikari wins Bhavanipur, it is an equal blow to Trinamool Congress. They are out from the power. That is obviously a biggest blow that they are having today, of Parivartan blow. Apart from that, Mamata Banerjee losing, not in Nandigram, not in any other place, but in her home turf. If she loses and if the final number comes out like that, so that is definitely going to be a biggest embarrassment for Trinamool Congress, no doubt.
Right, Abhijit Iyer Mitra with us, Sanju Verma with us on this broadcast in the battle for the states. Thank you very much. Namaste. What song comes to mind? Saira Shah Halim. Ye kya hua? Kaise hua?
Absolutely.
No, I'll come up with a Bengali song. Ban esheche mora gange dhorte hobe na.
We have to respect the people's mandate, and I think all said and done, we need to agree that we need a very strong opposition. Otherwise, it's not democracy anymore. So it's time for the opposition also to introspect and also reclaim this space, in the state as well as in the center. A lot of unfair practices were there. However, this has been an overwhelming mandate, so we need to respect people's wishes, and also it's time for the opposition to recoup themselves, re-energize and re-strategize about the next plan of action.
True. Sometimes does this denial actually, is it counterproductive? When you muzzle the media in the state, when you try and ensure and bulldoze your will, then you lose touch with reality. Had there been an open fora, there perhaps could have been a different story. The other thing, and Amitabh Tiwari is with us, Sanju Verma, before we come across to you, just want to commend this gentleman to my right for his diligence and the fact that Vote 5 and at CNN News 18 on New Matrix were perhaps the only platform they broke out the SIR deletions. We were able to highlight the 33 seats, especially in phase 2, that were really vulnerable, and across the board, even in phase 1, where the BJP could score. And when Amit Shah said they're going to score 110 seats in phase 1, how will they get those seats? We were able to break that down. But that's post-mortem later, or going back and patting our backs. But Amitabh,
thank you so much,
somebody like Mamata Bandyopadhyay to stand there in Bhavanipur and show her card like that and said, "Mere ko andar nahi jaane de rahe." You feel bad for a towering woman, for a towering leader like that. For a decade and a half, 2 decades, she took on the might of the left also. So,
इस पे एक मुहावरा याद आता है
जी,
सबे दिन जात न एक समान.
सबे दिन जात न एक समान.
ठीक है, time
is
the most powerful.
In Bengali also there is চিরদিন কাহারও সমানো নাহি
সমানো নাহি.
আজিকে যে রাজা ধীরাজ কালি সে ফকির হয়.
ফকির হয়, correct. हाँ, पर होई सोई जो राम रची राखा. Sanju Verma, big win for the BJP. So badhai there. And Anga Banga Kalinga, as Prime Minister said, but add Pragjotish on the other side. So that's a big victory in Assam too.
Thank you, Anand. I just want to make a couple of points. The most important one being that Amit Shah plus Narendra Modi, or should I say Narendra Modi plus Amit Shah, that equals force multiplier. We have been so consumed by the SIR deletions in West Bengal that people simply forgot that lawlessness, which has become the DNA of the TMC, it was running riot in West Bengal, and her hua to hua model of being completely brazenly dismissive was not called out, even by neutral anchors. Arjikar rape and murder, she said hua to hua. South Kolkata Law College rape, her attitude was hua to hua. Durgapur rape horror, she said hua to hua. Jalpaiguri rape, she said hua to hua. Finally, this hua to hua attitude, I think this brought about her nemesis. And I always say that the silent voter has spoken the loudest. and has spoken resoundingly, fair and square. And most importantly, I will say this, I'm not going to hold back my punches.
Right.
If Muslim appeasement, if Tushtikaran ki Rajniti is bona fide, then I think this time reverse polarization and Hindu consolidation has won the day. And I'm not going to be apologetic about it. But most importantly, this result in West Bengal is a rejection of fear.
Right.
Rejection of bhai ki Rajniti, as Prime Minister Modi has been reinforcing on more than one occasion. And before ending, I want to also just say one thing, Anand. In 2021, BJP got how many seats from South 24 Parganas? 0.
Right.
ZERO, 0. And look at our stupendous performance. I mean, from a strike rate of 0, having a strike rate of 72%, you know, where there was supposedly going to be Muslim polarization happening. That tells you that people have voted for BJP lock, stock and barrel. Even Muslims have voted for BJP. Because everybody said, "Arey, 84 seats though is the catchment vote base of Mamata Banerjee. 28% vote share ke advantage se Mamata Banerjee shuruaat karti hai." So BJP has to start, you know, thinking beyond that.
Let's look at I'm going to walk across to the magic wall and just look at some of the important markers, some of these seats that she mentioned. Allow me to please walk. Let's look at Bengal, and she said phase 2, right? This was the vulnerable area. So in the state of Bengal, if you look at phase 2, look at the performance of the BJP. Phase 2, the last time around, Amitabh Tiwari, the BJP was
only 18.
18. They had 18. This time they have actually got 93. So they've added 74 seats in phase 2. The other part, the women, how the women have voted. Let's also look at the women voters. If we look at the higher women population, let's look at the women voters at this point. The women voters, where there is a higher women population, the BJP has won 35 out of the 39 seats. So overwhelming vote that has gone to the women voter. Also, if you look at some of the other filters, the Muslim dominated areas, 50% plus Muslim population, let's look at, and here again, the BJP has gained 4 seats. So it's won 4 seats there, and there are others who have won 4 seats. So the Trinamool overall has lost 9 seats even in the Muslim dominated areas. So that means even the Muslim people or the voters, although they vote in a block sometimes against the BJP, they were also tired of what the Trinamool Congress was doing, and the Congress seems to have benefited from it. The others seem to have benefited. Now the most important, viewers, and this is something which Shubirda has been speaking about, this is the border areas. Look at how the border areas have voted. In the border areas, the BJP has won 28, the Trinamool Congress has won 14, and top to bottom. In fact, it's just phenomenal. Let's just quickly go across. We'll come back to border in a bit. We've got a victor with us. So let's go straight across to him and congratulate him. Swapan Dasgupta ji, namaste.
Namaskar.
Congratulations. What a win.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, it was quite an emphatic victory
congratulations.
for our party. 200 seats. It's quite stupendous. It is quite stupendous.
आपको एक बात बताऊं स्वपन जी, that day when we spoke on the polling day, you were looking very circumspect, and the way you were answering our questions, members in the studio were worried. स्वपन दा ऐसे बात कर रहे हैं तो कुछ गड़बड़ तो नहीं हो गया है. But what you said, the first response आपका बहुत interesting था जब आपने कहा the Hindu in Bengal is feeling an existential need, an emotional one. That was very insightful. Ji, please.
See, the point is, one can always exaggerate and build up a great hype. But you see, the point is, the voters were terribly taciturn this time. They were supportive, but in a very quiet and withdrawn sort of way, partly because of the fear factor. But you could sense that all of them wanted a change. But what was unsure in our part was to say that what is the would we be able to bring about a massive shift in the existing Trinamool vote? Because of various factors, because perhaps we didn't have the necessary organizational clout, perhaps because of the fear factor, etc. But I think my own, if I was to extrapolate from my own personal experience, I would say that, people, they didn't give a damn about whether you had the organization, whether your posters were being thrown out, or whether you had enough flags there. They just went and voted because they saw in us as the alternative to someone who will provide a respite from this 15 years of completely, I think, the descent into irrelevance which had become a hallmark of Bengal, West Bengal. So that is what people voted against. They voted for us partially, but they also voted against a type of politics which had come to characterize both the CPM first and now the Trinamool Congress. So my sense of this mandate is that this is a mandate for redefining Bengal and for having a very new type of politics in this state.
True.
A politics which is based on development, which is based on people's aspirations, and not an overweight of politics. I think this over-politicization of Bengal, which we saw first under the Reds and then under the Trinamool, is something which we must break out from. And I think the people of West Bengal want a respite from that culture of that political culture.
How very articulate. I hope you're going to continue to pen your columns as you always do. And 2 elections ago, you were in our 2 elections ago, you were in our studio as our esteemed as part of our August panel, and now you are the MLA elected from Raj.
Yeah, I know, on the other side.
Yeah, you're on the other side.
We are looking at as next education minister, I suppose. But can I ask you a question?
Are we? No, let him answer that. Let him answer.
No. I think
that Shubir asked.
I don't know who asked that question.
Shubir Mohammed.
But I mean, okay, he is not the appointing. I think he is not the appointing authority. But in any case, I think today we are. We have about 200 MLAs, lot of talent, and I think a lot of young people, and I think which is we should be able to provide a decent administration for Bengal, which keeps in mind the different regional impulses, etc. We must. North Bengal has been neglected for a very long time. Some of the tribal areas, Adivasi areas have been neglected for some time. And Bengal, Kolkata, the urban character of Calcutta has also got to be accommodated in a way. They all voted for us very resoundingly. And I think this is something which we must keep. So let's not jump the gun about who is going to be made minister of what. Let's just go about it in a...
Right. Now, just before Shubir asks his question, I have another. आपके बगल में जो भवानीपुर है, वहाँ पर ममत बंदोपाध्याय is trailing by about 500 odd votes to Shubhendu Adhikari, and they have now alleged that the EC, the BJP, and the CRPF are together trying to defeat her.
Well, it's a very elaborate conspiracy theory, if I may say so. I think it's not that. I think what is very important, if we look at the ECI's role, ECI facilitated one of the highest polling in Bengal, which was a polling which was done without a single loss of life. To my mind, and most people in Bengal would say that is a stupendous achievement. Secondly, as far as the central paramilitary forces are concerned, they certainly played a very big role in getting the hoodlums off the streets, people who intimidate voters, etc., and giving that overall environment whereby people could go out fearlessly and vote. One of the things which really struck me and which I explained my victory in a Trinamool bastion is that there were huge people who had never voted before who just came out and voted. And it's not that these are people who are illiterate or something. These were well-heeled people who actually said, we didn't have the security, we didn't feel the confidence, we didn't have the necessary connect with any of the parties to be able to do it. So we came out and voted. And at least as far as the security and arrangements were concerned, I would credit the Election Commission as well as the Central forces.
Central forces. Now,
So I don't know what Mamata Banerjee's own experience. Mamata Banerjee's own experience is probably at variance with mine and with the rest of Bengal.
Well, you had at least a 20% vote share surge or voter turnout surge in Rashbihari itself. And right now, after 16 rounds, Shubhendu Adhikari leads Mamata Bandyopadhyay by 1,004 votes. 1,004 votes, Swapan Dasgupta.
This is a stupendous achievement. Look, Shubhendu has managed to bring a lot of energy into the campaign. He has fought a campaign with a degree of single-mindedness, which is a phenomenal attribute in politics. And I think Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool took South Kolkata, which includes Bhavanipur, which includes Rashbihari, which includes some other parts, as their zamindari, as their fiefdom, and they took the people of South Kolkata for granted. And I think the reaction to that is being felt in Bhavanipur, just as it was felt in Rashbihari.
Is Shubhendu your pick for the next chief minister?
These are issues which, I don't think we answer on television studios. I think
in our studio, some of them have picked you. In our studio, some of them have picked you for the job.
Yeah, tell.
Saira Shah Halim is there. She said you should be one. Subir Bhaumik said, "Agar CM nahi to kam se kam education minister."
Well, I mean, Saira, thanks. I want to thank Saira, but Saira belongs to the CPIM. Fortunately, unfortunately, they don't have very much of a say in.
Power,
Right. No, so just a suggestion. Now, I've got Abhijit here, Swapanji. So I'm going to ask the Mitra part of him to ask the question, not the Iyer part. So yes.
So congrats,
Yeah,
Swapan.
as long as he's polite.
Pollsters, I told you all the pollsters were saying you were going to win, and may the fourth be with you. So the fourth is with you.
With you.
So congrats.
Well, thank you for being such a soothsayer, and thank you for reminding me of Star Wars. But what's the question?
Well, the question is, did you see a shift in women voters, urban women voters towards you in your constituency? Because I remember you were saying you saw Hindu consolidation. I'm curious about women consolidation.
Yes. Yeah, there was. Women's security was definitely a factor. But I think women voted just like any other thing. They were feeling that frustration of, Bengal becoming a dead end in terms of aspirations, in terms of their children leaving, in them not seeing their grandchildren. Everybody, sort of Bengal was a very nice place to get out of. That was the attitude.
Okay.
And like a lot of other people, they voted quite resoundingly against that idea. They wanted to restore the relevance of West Bengal in national life.
Phenomenal. Final question. Subir Bhaumik has been waiting.
Swapan, taking off from what you just said, and you talked about depoliticization, overweight of politics today, would education and law and order machinery, that is police reforms, be an important part of this depoliticization process, so that police becomes a professional force and Bengal reclaims its primacy as far as education is concerned? Would you prioritize them?
Absolutely. I think you're dead right in identifying the overweight of politics in education, in law and order, administration of law and order. I would go far as to say culture. I would also go into say even how sports, clubs like East Bengal and Mohun Bagan have become politicized.
Yeah.
I would say how institutions like Durga Puja have become politicized. All of this, entire civil society as well as civil society in West Bengal needs that toxic element called politics taken out of its system. It wants to restore it. Let the people get a chance to breathe. Then you'll see creativity come back to West Bengal.
Right.
I think Bengal has to be redefined and rescued from this politicized tyranny which has been affecting it for the past 50 years.
True. So we need Bhadralok like you in the thick of things. Abhi aapka arambh prachand hai. It's a long innings, Swapan ji. So wish you all the very
Thank you.
Some vision is required.
Thank you.
Yeah, vision is also required.
Hopefully.
All the very best. Thank you for speaking with us. Now, quickly,
Thank you.
we're going to quickly shift focus, but compelled to take a very short break. We got Pradeep Gupta ji with us. Pradeep ji, ये break हमें लेना पड़ेगा. Please, आप हमारे साथ रहिए. थोड़ा तमिलनाडु पे बात करेंगे. Request all our guests also to stay on. Please, thank you very much. Please stay with us.
Bengal in charge for the Bharatiya Janata Party and Union Minister, Mr. Pradhan joins us. Mr. Pradhan, badhai ho aapko. Fantastic day, historic day for the BJP as well as, of course, for BJP also in Assam, not just in Bengal, in Assam and of course in Puducherry, the NDA. So a great day overall for you. But Pradhan ji, thank you for speaking to us. Your first reaction on the performance of the BJP in Bengal, sir.
My all salute to the decisive voters of West Bengal. For a long time they are intending, they have a strong desire to change the ruling pattern in Bengal, be it 34 years of left regime or be it 15 years of TMC's regime. There was a pattern to govern. The pattern's primary condition was to create fear psychosis, intimidate voters, do atrocity on people. By creating that fear, you own the election. This time, my biggest take of this election is due to impartial approach of Election Commission. People of West Bengal has come out in a big way. They have reposed faith and leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, policies and program of Bharatiya Janata Party, because since last 2.5 decades, we are a natural party of governance in many states. That belief extends to Bengal also. I am grateful to people of Bengal for reposing their faith in Prime Minister Modi and BJP, and they have given a decisive mandate of misrule, misgovernance of Srimati Mamata Banerjee.
प्रधान जी, अगर आप टीएमसी का वर्जन सुने तो काफ़ी अलग है. वो कह रहे हैं कि तमाम बीजेपी ने एक किस्म से षड्यंत्र रचा था हमारे खिलाफ, ईसी को भी इन्वॉल्व किया, सेंट्रल पुलिस फोर्सेस को भी लेके आए, कई दिक्कतें पैदा की कि पूरा जो इलेक्ट्रल फील्ड है अनइवन हो जाए. इस पे आपकी क्या राय है?
देखिए, मैं पहले चुनाव आयोग की निष्पक्ष और सुव्यवस्थित चुनाव के लिए उनको धन्यवाद देता हूं. मैंने जैसे कहा कि पिछले लगभग 50 सालों में बंगाल की जनता को एक निष्पक्ष चुनाव की अवसर कम मिला था. ऐसे नहीं कि बिल्कुल मिला नहीं था, कम मिला था. जब चुनाव आयोग ने सारे कारणों को ध्यान में रखते हुए सुप्रबंधन किया, ये चुनाव आयोग की काम है, हमारे भारत की संवैधानिक व्यवस्था है, उनके अधिकार के विषय है. एसआईआर क्या पहली बार हुई है क्या? जिसमें पहले भी एसआईआर हुई, होनी नहीं चाहिए क्या? भारत की मतदाता सूची में भारतीय रहेंगे या रोहिंग्या रहेंगे, क्या घुसपैठिया रहेंगे, ये मुद्दा था. क्या देश में गो तस्करी होनी चाहिए? क्या देश में ड्रग माफियाओं का राज बननी चाहिए? क्या बंगाल के मंत्रियों के घर में नोट की पहाड़ दिखना उचित है? क्या उनकी डजन भर मंत्री और प्रमुख नेता जेल के अंदर नहीं रहे? क्या बंगाल के सारे भ्रष्टाचार की तार ममता जी के घर तक, उनकी भाईपो अभिषेक बनर्जी तक नहीं पहुंचता था? प्रजातंत्र कभी भ्रष्टाचारियों को, अत्याचारियों को, क्या ममता जी ने आरजीकर घटना हो या संदेशखाली घटना हो, उस समय में संवेदनहीन, अरुचिकर मंतव्य नहीं दिया था महिलाओं के प्रति? ये सारे की कारण.
Back live, and that's a phenomenal victory for the TVK. See Joseph Vijay on the Vijay Path, and Tamil Nadu has decided that they will cast the Vijay vote. And what a phenomenal performance by the TVK. but they are not past the post on their own. They will need support. Even as the outgoing Chief Minister M.K. Stalin of the DMK has put out and conceded, saying that I congratulate the victor and really acknowledge and accept the verdict of the people. This even as Rahul Gandhi has said that I've had a chat, spoke to Vijay on the phone and I have congratulated him and we will extend all the support. That's the tone of the entire conversation. And this is just after we had reported here at CNN News 18 that there is a letter and a recommendation already dashed off to the High Command from Tamil Nadu that if we get the opportunity to help Vijay form government, we must back. That's the Congress mood. That's the Congress thought. Let's go across to Sanju Verma, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, our panelists here in the studio, and Pradeep Gupta ji, who is also waited. Pradeep ji, namaste. Congratulations on the prediction of TVK. लेकिन डीएमके वाला आपका थोड़ा गड़बड़ा गया था, उतना तो आप मानेंगे.
डीएमके वाला गड़बड़ा गया था in the sense we predicted DMK will be second position. They are on the second position. We predicted TVK to score 35% vote share. It is 35% vote share. We predicted 98 to 120 seats for the TVK. The midpoint was 109. At this point of time, I can see 107 seats. I mean, you can't ask better than this. And as far as the DMK and AIDMK, still the 20 seats gap is there. And as far as the vote share is concerned, DMK alliance is 32% versus the AIDMK alliance about 27.5%. Good 5 percentage points gap between DMK and AIDMK. I mean, I cannot do better than this, Anand, what to do.
बधाई हो आपको, congratulations. Amitabh is also here at Vote Vibes. I'll have to congratulate him also कि रुझान 3 के सही थे. We were perhaps the only one which put out our neck on the line and said DMK is not forming government this time around and nowhere in position to do that. So these things happen. But when you saw the results that were coming out, जो रुझान आपके पास आ रहे थे, were you surprised? Did it first say यार कोई तुम्हारा किसी का कॉलम वॉलम जो टैबुलेशन आपकी टीम में कोई गलती तो नहीं कर गया है?
नहीं, there is no question of गलती, but one typo mistake was there, Anand. I must agree to that, which is the Brahmins. It was actually general category plus Brahmin. In the space that Brahmin took and general got disappear. So this was that among the demography where the caste equation we were discussing the other day, it was general category plus Brahmin put together 9%. That is what we have, polled in our sample. There is no question of galti when we predicted 35% vote share and it is 35% vote share for the party which is contesting first time. So, I mean, it's a full credit to our Access My India team and our processes. The most important is our processes and the data science. It's not only the Tamil Nadu, all 4 states, if you see, the vote share and the seat share is spot on. I mean, I don't think it can be better than this.
Right.
Access My India is anyway known for this. Before this election, we have predicted 81 elections so far and called accurately 74 elections, including US election recently concluded Trump win. I mean, we were among the two agencies who predicted Trump win. 23 were predicting Kamala Harris win. I mean, this is the same process as we followed even in US.
Right, phenomenal. Because clearly there has been a vote for change and this vote for change has been brewing for a while. Sanju Verma, would you on hindsight believe that the BJP should not have allied with the ADMK? Were you one of those who said, "Arey, why aren't we fighting alone after we did such a hard work, such a lot of work in 2024?
Anand, I'm not going to take the easy route and say you win some and you lose some. Anand, why are you asking me about Tamil Nadu? After we won the civilizational war in Bengal and we had a stupendous victory by way of Assam 3.0, we won Puducherry, we've increased vote share in Kerala. Let me take a tough question. Let me take the bull by the horns and just say this. Yes, ideally, I would have loved to see the NDA taking Tamil Nadu. Am I disappointed? Yes. But I see a silver lining. This silver lining is that Tamil Nadu in the future is not necessarily going to be limited to Dravidian politics.
Yeah.
The space has increased for newer players. And if Vijay has won so handsomely, so be it. It also tells us that barring a Pradeep Gupta, you can never call exit polls, till the last vote is cast. And I also think that this gives time for us to redraw the map in Tamil Nadu. We've breached the eastern frontier of Mamata Banerjee. Ab aage Tamil Nadu, Kerala, these are the states that the BJP will focus on. And if you know us, Anand, you're a seasoned anchor. After we were limited to 240 in Lok Sabha 2024, और मैंने भी कहा था on air, अब की बार 400 पार, and people had a hearty time laughing at us. We were the butt of jokes. But look at this stupendous comeback. Bihar, Haryana, Maharashtra, Delhi. Delhi तो हर कोई कहता था जो भी कर लो अरविंद केजरीवाल को dislodge करना मुश्किल ही नहीं नामुमकिन है. But here we are. We've had a strike rate of more than 72% in all the state assembly elections that went into polls after June 2024. So is there hope for BJP as a standalone? Forget about being in alliance with anybody. In Tamil Nadu? Oh yes. Is there hope for BJP in Kerala, which Prime Minister Modi alluded to during his victory address? Oh yes. But yes, many congratulations to Vijay. I think that was a stupendously unbelievable victory.
Yes,
I did not see it coming.
True, okay. But there were a few things that I must credit Amitabh also for seeing it coming, because we started the vote tracker in March. We did 3 trackers. We were the first to actually say that the DMK is on the wane. And we'll be honest here on CNN News 18 that there was a huge backlash to the extent of intimidation that came through, saying how dare you say that, and of course personal allegations against Amitabh. We were the first to say that the Trinamool is under the pump and the BJP is on the rise in Bengal, and again the same thing happened. We put out the numbers and stuck out our neck saying that yes, the BJP is taking Bengal, unlike an Axis India or a Pradeep Gupta who did not put those polls. So that is also there. So he didn't put those numbers out. आपने क्यों नहीं किया प्रदीप जी? वो प्रश्न उस प्रश्न को भी तो मुझे आपसे पूछना है.
पूछिए, जरूर पूछिए. मैंने कहा जैसे एक्सिस इंडिया वी स्ट्रांगली बिलीव इन आवर प्रोसेसेस and we could talk to only 30% of the people, 70% of the Bengal people didn't speak, and my 5 surveyors spent 24 days in Damdam jail in Kolkata. We bailed them from Kolkata High Court. The kind of across all the police stations in across the state of Bengal, that any surveyor come, you bring them here in the police station and we will send them to the jail.
तो आपकी तरफ से आप senior हैं in terms of psephology, but you should also compliment Amitabh because they're the only guys. He's the only one who's got the SIR deletions data. He's the only one who first put out the numbers and also said that the BJP is going to get 160 plus seats, and was able to put out a poll prediction for Bengal. So some credit is also due there. Whereas, like you said, because of the intimidation or other reasons, you backed out of putting out the numbers for Bengal.
Yes, I mean, until unless I have a conviction, there is no question of putting me number, because we always believe in data and what people say. It's not what Pradeep Gupta thinks or the guts or anything else. It is the purely the methodology, the science, the data science and the processes we believe. So no point half-hearted, half-cooked food we serve to the people of India.
Psephology is not physics. It's not a perfect science anyway.
No, but it is. But it takes some guts and gumption also to put out the numbers and the data. So that SIR data, Amitabh, we have to. We were the ones who highlighted the 33 seats that are vulnerable. Those are vulnerable. The SIR deletions, the impact that will have on new matrix. And I was there with him doing it. That's why I know this exercise. And the 110 seats, the arithmetic of how Amit Shah has come out and claimed those 110 seats. And that's been done despite intimidation. That's been done despite the kind of backlash that came through.
And Anand, I think all of us owe an apology to Pradeep ji, because last 3 days, most of us in Tamil Nadu have spent time saying why Pradeep Gupta will be wrong. And why his poll there were all kinds of analysis coming out, so we owe you an apology, Pradeep.
And I think I told Pradeep ji the thing that it's not about Vijay getting the seats, it's about the projections on the caste that did not apply. 42% 1 years, and of course that column of Brahmins, that was the one that perhaps dislodged everything. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, Shubhendu Adhikari currently leading by 6,000 votes in Bhavanipur. 6,000 votes in Bhavanipur. Now, what a statement this, and perhaps this is something that Mamata Banerjee is going to find it difficult to come back from.
She has taken it.
Look, the thing about Bengal is number 2 remains number 2. We saw this when the communists were in power, Congress could never become number 1. When TMC was in power, the communists could never become number 1. And now number 2 is going to be TMC. They're going to remain number 2 for a very, very long time to come. The issue is this has been 70 years of ossification of Bengal. The BJP's process of fixing the state will be very slow and painful. You know, the infiltration of TMC into every level of government. I mean, you saw the kind of outrageous actions that government functionaries were taking.
Right.
And they all had to be suspended by the Election Commission and things like that. How long is that going to take? What is the kind of pain, the short-term pain and the gain, the pain versus gain strategy? Let's see. I can honestly tell you, Anand, I never expected this to happen. We all saw it coming the last 7 days. This one, I did not in my wildest dreams, and I'm so happy to have been so spectacularly wrong.
Nobody expected Himanta Biswa Sarma and the BJP to touch 100. They have. Nobody expected the UDF to touch 100. They have in Kerala. Nobody expected the TVK to win. They have, or be the single largest party in Tamil Nadu. They are. And nobody expected the BJP to cross 200 and get such an overwhelming mandate. So what an election, and salute to the voter. We're going to take a very, very short break. Thank you to all our guests. The coverage continues with Rahul on the other side. Stay with us.
Bengal in charge for the Bharatiya Janata Party and Union Minister, Mr. Pradhan joins us. Mr. Pradhan, badhaiyo aapko. Fantastic day, historic day for the BJP, as well as, of course, for BJP also in Assam, not just in Bengal, in Assam, and of course in Puducherry, the NDA. So a great day overall for you. But Pradhanji, thank you for speaking to us. Your first reaction on the performance of the BJP in Bengal, sir.
My all salute to the decisive voters of West Bengal. For a long time they are intending, they have a strong desire to change the ruling pattern in Bengal, be it 34 years of left regime or be it 15 years of TMC's regime. There was a pattern to govern. The pattern's primary condition was to create fear psychosis, intimidate voters, do atrocity on people. By creating that fear, you own the election. This time, my biggest take of this election is due to impartial approach of Election Commission. People of West Bengal has come out in a big way. They have reposed faith and leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, policies and program of Bharatiya Janata Party, because since last 2.5 decades, we are a natural party of governance in many states. That belief extends to Bengal also. I am grateful to people of Bengal for reposing their faith in Prime Minister Modi and BJP, and they have given a decisive mandate of misrule, misgovernance of Srimati Mamata Banerjee.
Pradhan ji, अगर आप टीएमसी का वर्जन सुने तो काफ़ी अलग है. वो कह रहे हैं कि तमाम बीजेपी ने एक किस्म से षड्यंत्र रचा था हमारे खिलाफ, ईसी को भी इन्वॉल्व किया, सेंट्रल पुलिस फोर्सेस को भी लेके आए, कई दिक्कतें पैदा की कि पूरा जो इलेक्टरल फील्ड है.
साथियों, 2013 में जब भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने मुझे प्रधानमंत्री के उम्मीदवार के रूप में भी काम दिया, और जब मैं काशी में अपना नामांकन भरने गया था और पत्रकारों ने मुझे घेर लिया, तो स्वाभाविक रूप से मेरे हृदय से एक ध्वनि निकली थी और मैंने कहा था कि न मैं आया हूं, न मुझे किसी ने भेजा है, मां गंगा ने मुझे बुलाया है। और आज मैं हर पल अनुभव कर रहा हूं कि मां गंगा के आशीर्वाद निरंतर हम सब पर अपनी कृपा बरसा रहे हैं। साथियों, गंगा जी के साथ साथ ब्रह्मपुत्र का भी हम पर
Viewers, 1 in 5 Indians voted. India's power map shifted. It's easy to be swept up tonight, viewers. It's easy to talk up the significance of this round of assembly elections. Polls in 5 geographies, 4 states and 1 union territory amount to a virtual mini referendum. Viewers, the same number of people who voted in the US election, in the US general election in 2024 have voted in just this round of elections here in India. India is the mother of all democracies, viewers. And all of these numbers translate into a huge 1 in 5 Indian voters speaking across 21% of Lok Sabha constituencies. These voters showed up in record numbers, only to topple 3 chief ministers in one day. The carnage is unprecedented. The India bloc has borne the brunt. Even in Tamil Nadu, it lost to a rank outsider. A Tollywood superstar, harkening back to an age 2 generations of Tamils don't remember. Those are the pictures of Vijay. Vijay viewers mobbed. Vijay is coming out of nowhere. N.T. Rama viewers, who founded the TDP. It takes us back then, 70s. The BJP-led NDA has spared itself this ignominy that the India bloc has subjected itself to. The BJP has returned to power in Assam. Its ally has dodged anti-incumbency in Puducherry. But it is in Bengal that the BJP has scored a polity resetting triumph. After Anga and Kalinga, Banga has fallen under its sway within a year of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. And no wonder today, viewers, the man in the middle of your screens, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is saying that this is a vote for BJP's governance, that it is the only party in this country that is elected back into office because it does somewhere meet the aspirations of the voters. Listen in to the Prime Minister.
साथियों, पिछले साल 14 नवंबर को जब बिहार चुनाव के नतीजे आए थे, तब मैंने इसी जगह से बीजेपी मुख्यालय से आप सबको कहा था, गंगा जी बिहार से आगे बहते हुए गंगा सागर तक जाती है। और आज बंगाल की जीत के साथ गंगोत्री से लेकर गंगा सागर तक कमल ही कमल खिला हुआ है। आज मां गंगा के इर्द गिर्द बसे इन राज्यों में बीजेपी एनडीए सरकार है। जनता साफ देख रही है, जहां भाजपा वहां गुड गवर्नेंस, जहां भाजपा वहां विकास। आप बीते 2 साल के ट्रेंड को देखिए। हरियाणा में लगातार तीसरी बार बीजेपी सरकार बनी, महाराष्ट्र में बीजेपी की जोरदार विजय हुई, दिल्ली में अभूतपूर्व जीत हासिल हुई, बिहार में भी हमें पहले से बड़ी विजय मिली। और ये सफलता सिर्फ राज्यों के चुनाव में नहीं दिखी, ये सफलता लोकल गवर्नेंस के चुनाव में भी दिख रही है। साथियों, अभी 10 दिन पहले गुजरात के स्थानीय निकायों के परिणाम आए हैं। वहां बीजेपी 2.5-3 दशक से जनता की सेवा निरंतर कर रही है और हर चुनाव में जनता बीजेपी को आशीर्वाद के नए रिकॉर्ड बना रही है।
Well, viewers, new records are being set. The BJP has expanded in the east, reshaping the opposition's balance of power and emboldening the center ahead of 2029. Look at the geographic spread of the Bharatiya Janata Party today, viewers. It rules over a vast swath of India. Almost 74% of the population, viewers, is governed by the NDA, the BJP and its allies. The BJP's win against Mamata Banerjee catapults it into an orbit of its own. It's like the Congress in the 50s and 60s. It is now the default party of governance. The NDA governs states representing roughly 75% of India's population, transcending fault lines that once fractured mandates. This expansion narrows alternatives and risks ossifying politics. Yet, a growing BJP may also be less monochromatic as it adapts to diverse coalitions, diverse social coalitions. In the near term, Hindu consolidation remains decisive. Bengal will test whether this can endure without backlash. The next big election, viewers, is in 2027, and that's Uttar Pradesh, the citadel, the cradle of Indian democracy. Let's go straight across to Amit Malvia, who joins me one-on-one. Amit Malvia has, of course, been somebody who has invested lots of time, viewers, to see this day. He has also been the worst targeted, let me tell you, by the entire mob of TMC supporters and some full-throated voices who err on the side of shrillness, who got nominated or elected to the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, respectively, viewers. So this individual has had a trial by fire of his own. Amit Malvia, let me ask you this. What do you think is the reason for the BJP's triumph here in Bengal? This one last barrier that stood before you, it was quite like, viewers, the Indian cricket team that had a problem against the Australians. And finally it breached that big wall in Australia, and after that the dams burst open, viewers. It's quite the same. How did you breach this citadel?
Rahul, thank you so much. This victory is indeed special. It's a historic moment. The BJP has formed its first government in West Bengal 79 years after independence. And the credit for this goes entirely to Prime Minister Modi's leadership. The bharosa, as we said, people of West Bengal have put in his assurances and his leadership and his term as Prime Minister. Of course, Home Minister Amit Shah, who had put Bengal squarely in the focus of the BJP when he was the national president of the party. Having said that, I think Bengal was going through perhaps one of its worst phases with a government in power that had completely abdicated governance. Law and order was a big issue. Women were unsafe. Sexual crimes had shot up, and invariably it was the Trinamool leader who was behind it. Mamata Banerjee's complete apathy towards what was happening, scams, corruption, the communal polarization that we saw, the relentless Hindu-Muslim conflict that happened in bordering areas, the unchecked infiltration, and in fact, tacit support by the administration to ensure that the border districts were completely infiltrated, and they had found themselves on the voter roll, not just in those districts, but across the state, which could effectively help the Trinamool to alter the mandate. So clearly, the government in office did not reflect the will of the people of Bengal, but were powered by the illegal and fake voters who had been brought into the role over the last decade. Clearly, once the SIR process happened, which incidentally happened under the watch of the Calcutta High Court on the instructions of Supreme Court, and therefore that makes it all the more credible because it was the judicial officers who eventually looked at the electoral roll and the process of cleanup, unlike the other states and union territories where SIR was happening simultaneously.
Well, let me tell you, Amit Malvia, even as we speak, Mamata Banerjee is out. Not just down, but out in Bhavanipur, viewers. This is colossal. It's a massive, massive setback. It's an existential crisis for the TMC. Viewers, it's a churn in Indian politics. It will have national repercussions. Mamata Banerjee, after 15 years of lording it over West Bengal and hoping that she is going to be the next Prime Minister of this country, has bitten the dirt in Bhavanipur, viewers. And she has lost to Suvendu Adhikari. He chased her out of Nandigram, and now, viewers, he has trounced her in Bhavanipur, the citadel within a citadel. It was really, viewers, the crown jewel in her empire, so to speak. And I'm using these words because over the last 10 years, Mamata Banerjee has ruled like a monarch. People have been treated shabbily, viewers. They have been taken for granted. The press has been quashed. Any opponent, any critic, even a cartoonist has been packed off to jail. Her troll armies have gone after people. And all of this now, viewers, has come back to haunt. And it has come back to haunt in a spectacular fashion. I'm going to try and get across to Komolika, but Amit Malvia, massive. This is now anti-incumbency threefold. Yes, Mamata Banerjee is claiming that you rigged the election, that she was leading. How could she have lost by 11,000? She's been at that polling center. 8 other ministers in her government have lost, including Shashi Panja, who laid siege 2 days ago to the counting center. How do you respond?
Well, Mamata Banerjee should have read the writing on the wall in 2021 when she lost Nandigram, which she became chief minister through a backdoor entry. Perhaps people of Bhavanipur have put her out this time, and decisively so. Now, let's understand that this anti-incumbency was not limited to certain leaders of the TMC. It started at the top. I mean, even through this election cycle, we heard Mamata Banerjee and we heard her higher apparent Abhishek Banerjee threaten the people, the electorate, saying, we will see you on 4th May if you don't vote for us. I mean, the people have given such a decisive mandate that there is no way these people in the Trinamool can do anything at all. And at the end of the day, in a democracy, you don't take people for granted. You don't speak the language that Mamata Banerjee and other Trinamool leaders were speaking. And like I said, there was no semblance of governance in West Bengal, and it's not very surprising that Mamata herself has lost from Bhavanipur a seat that she held for 15 years. It should just tell you how deep the rot was. It should tell you that the people of Bengal really are looking forward to the change. And as the Prime Minister said today in his address, we are going to do everything possible to ensure that we give it the governance that it deserves.
Well, Amit Malvia, BJP co-in charge, West Bengal, speaking to us there. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you. Well deserved. Hard work. 10 years of toil. He's given his life, viewers, and it's had a impact on his health. But viewers, at the end of the day, he's passed the test. His party has passed the test. The Prime Minister, Amit Shah, have all come out with flying colors, and there you can see them right there. I'm going to go straight across to Pallavi. Pallavi, this is a moment, completely new power shift taking place in Indian politics. I just want to open this up. Let's bring in some of our guests. Massive power shift, massive. Chetan Bhagat is here with me, witness to history. David Frawley is here with me. Shadat Poonawala is here with me. Tehseen Poonawala is here with me. Tehseen Poonawala, who has been, of course, holding the flag for the TMC, for the India bloc, doesn't quite know where to hide his face tonight. But that's okay. That's okay.
I think the Election Commission has a lot to answer to.
Okay, we'll come to you. We'll come to you, sir. We'll come to you. But Chetan Bhagat, put this into perspective for us.
Well, firstly, a couple of things I'll say, and thanks for giving a chance with less arguments here, because today, end of the day...
No, more arguments, more time.
What an interesting election. Firstly, you know, we had every angle, pro-incumbency, anti-incumbency, new player, established player. There's something for BJP, something for Congress. Big guys have been dislodged, new stars born. I think there are two big moments. One is, of course, Vijay, who's man of the match, but BJP's team of the series. I think in Bengal, Didi had it coming. I don't know why people don't see it. Go back to 2021, Assam and Bengal, two sisters. One gave BJP a chance. The other said, no, we'll give Didi a third chance. And then what happened in Assam today? They said BJP again with a much bigger mandate. So that means they liked what they saw there, and they are neighbors, and there's a lot of cultural connections. And, you know, what is the TMC known for today, Rahul? Okay, let's be the good things. They are known for Didi. They are known for women power. Fine, we give them that. But then they are also known for lawlessness, corruption, intimidation, not being business and investment friendly, therefore not creating jobs, women's safety issues. Maybe other states also have issues, but the perception of TMC is like this. And to not address it in your third term, when BJP had a pretty high, close to 40% vote share even in the previous election, they just needed a little more, and which is what they did this time. And to win and to make it all about Sir, clearly the difference in vote share, the amount of vote share TMC has lost today, 14 points. Sir doesn't explain it. I mean, even if like Sir was perfectly manipulated, it doesn't explain it. It's only the TMC has to look within and say what happened.
Yeah, because the excluded voters, if you just done the maths, and I know that you've been doing it through the day, 5%, that doesn't mean that all those 5% were, in fact, TMC voters. That could have been
even
a
if 4% were, it just doesn't,
Exactly.
even if 80% were, it doesn't work.
Yes.
And I think that's where ultimately people want performance. Just saying, keep him out, I'm here to make sure this party stays out, I'm anti this party. It doesn't work. If you work, pro-incumbency also happens in this country. If you present hope, a Vijay also happens in this country. But if you take the voters for granted and feel entitled and feel it's your birthright, कि यहाँ तो हम ही जीतेंगे, I mean, there is just no way anybody's going to come. I don't think that works forever. And that's what happened. And, you know, the hard work paid off. It's as simple as that.
Okay, it's as simple as that. It's so simple. Tehseen Poonawala, why are you complicating it? David Frawley is also there with us. I'm going to go across to Pallavi, but not before I go to Shadat Poonawala. Yes, very quickly, Tehseen Poonawala, don't grumble today. Don't try to be like Trump. Populists playing to those galleries, suggesting that, you know, this election has been stolen. Don't do that. Respect the mandate.
Thank you for having
me. Be humble.
Thank you for having me on the show, Rahul. Let me just give you the data because Chetan gave data and the data will answer it all. 27 lakh people have been left out for adjudication. The difference between the TMC vote and the BJP vote is 30 lakhs, which is the same. Out of this 27 lakh people, the only people adjudicated were 1608. And 99.9% of them came back into the list, which were wrong deletions. These are not Bangladeshis. These are people deleted because of the Election Commission's mistakes. Shouldn't the Supreme Court immediately call off this election and have fresh elections? If 30 lakh people have been deleted, 27 lakhs, and the difference in the two parties is 30 lakhs.
On what basis are you saying this?
Because the Honorable Supreme Court itself said the difference.
Where is the figure that the difference between the two parties?
Counter votes.
No,
just
viewers,
counter
we don't
votes
have those numbers as yet.
You must do it right away.
In fact, even the vote share is still settling. So I don't know where Tehsil Poonawalla has got which EVMs he's opened and counted what, I don't know. But anyhow, let me just bring in Shahzad Poonawalla on this. Shahzad Poonawalla, again, even EVM bahana, na SIR bahana.
No, I thought Tehsin would be little circumspect to use that bahana simply because SIR and EVMs both happened in Kerala and they have won handsomely. And there neither K.C. Venugopal nor Shashi Tharoor nor Satishan nor Chenitala are saying that the SIR was a problem or the Election Commission or the EVMs. So suddenly this has become a problem only in another state of West Bengal or in Assam. By the way, have you noticed one pattern that in Assam, Gaurav Gogoi, the entitled dynast, has lost. In West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, the queen of entitlement, has lost. In DMK, in Tamil Nadu, DMK Stalin has lost. So people are punishing arrogance and entitlement, and yet these people continue to be anti-Sanatan, anti-people. They question the constitutional institutions. Also another point, look at the BJP. 10 years ago, it was nowhere in the scenario in Bengal. It only had 2 seats, less than 10% vote share. But on the other hand, because of the thing that we have done in the other parts of the country, looking at that performance, people in Bengal were assured that this is the party that can actually give Bengal a new vision, a new direction, which the TMC has not been given in the last 15 years. Also in Assam, our government has repeated the third time. We are the only party in this election cycle whose governments have repeated. In Puducherry and in Assam, both places pro-incumbency vote has come because of the BJP's performance. And on the other hand, the other 3 state governments have been lost because the anti-incumbency they could not tackle. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP governments are actually an antidote for anti-incumbency. They equal pro-incumbency.
Okay, just stay on with me because we're also being joined by Sanjeev Sanyal. But before that, I want to quickly dip across to Pallavi. Pallavi, monumental. What we're witnessing is history. You told me first when you went to Bengal that there is change on the ground. You've been reporting it. You said this time Mamata is in trouble. We didn't know that she was in so much trouble that the people were so angry that they'd even pluck her out and cast her aside.
Well, you remember the stories of Arvind Kejriwal losing or even Sheila Dixit losing. Look, when people are angry, the face of the government are the first ones to be booted out. That's exactly what has happened with Mamata Banerjee. And this is huge because I remember I had interviewed Shivendu Adhikari in Nandigram and he had told me that, mark my words, Didi, she is going to lose in Bhavanipur as well. Nandigram is going to be repeated in Bhavanipur as well. So this is a huge setback to her. It is going to have ramifications. One, I immediately see that the Trinamool Congress is going to begin to wither away. Second, in the India bloc, if she was hoping to take on the Prime Minister in 2029, I don't see that happening immediately. So this is a huge setback. Obviously, the usual cries will come from her that, you know, the SIR and there was a cheating taking place. I was made to lose. But the fact is that she's lost.
She lost. Yes, let's open this up. Sanjeev Sanyal also here with us. Mr. Tehsin Poonawalla, it was Rahul Gandhi who first said that she has opened the door to the BJP in the state. And the reason he said was not because of SIR, viewers. He said because of corruption. He said, viewers, because she's polarized the electorate. In fact, if you look at the TMC's tally right now, it's 78. That's the same number of short seats where the Muslim population exceeds a certain number, which automatically helps the TMC. So the TMC has really won fundamentally on Muslim support, viewers, tonight. I'll tell you the extent of the rage. The mother of the RG car victim has won. Sandesh Khali victim, she has won. Miss Patra, all of them have won, viewers. And this in a state run by a woman. It's the woman voter who says, Mamta Banerjee, you didn't read the writing of the wall in Nandigram where we were telling you where are the jobs. So we made that the test case for you and you didn't listen. That was her litmus test and she failed it. Tehseen Poonawalla, wake up, stop making excuses. Rahul Gandhi will be next. Let me tell you that. Uttar Pradesh was next on the block and it's going to be the SP's turn.
So that shows very categorically that the Congress must take the lead in the India alliance when the regional parties try and play polarizing politics. For example, Humayun Kabir, who was a BJP agent who got CRPF security, Mamta Banerjee failed to arrest him. And that is where centrist parties like the Congress suffer. And all of these regional parties must realize that they
Centrist party?
should. Yeah,
Who tied up with the AUDF? You know what that is?
Did they tie up this
sectarian
election?
Party. Nothing
Did they tie
centrist
up in
about
this
it.
election?
Let me ask you.
No,
Not
did
this,
they
the
tie up in
previous
this
one.
election?
Let me ask you,
So
sir.
BJP
Who
tied up
shared
with
a
PDP?
stage with the ISF?
BJP
Who
tied up
shared a
PDP?
stage in Uttar
BJP,
Pradesh, sir?
PDP?
Who shared a stage with the one individual, viewers, and a political party in Uttar Pradesh? It was Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, the most sectarian leader, pulled up by the Supreme Court for hate speech. Yes, Shahzad Poonawalla raising his hand. Go ahead, Shahzad Poonawalla.
Tehseen has forgotten that in this round of election, Congress has allied with Jamaat in Kerala, and no less than Pinarayi Vijayan has called them out. So I don't know which center of Islamic radical politics. Is that the centrist party you are? Because on the one hand, you have allied with Furfura Sharif in Bengal at one point of time. Now you have standing alliance with Muslim League and with people from Jamaat who want Islamic Republic.
When the BJP
So perhaps
ties up
you
with
mean
the
centrist
PDP,
of the
that
Islamic
is secular.
movement.
When the BJP goes with the Tripura Liberation Front, that is
Anyway,
secular.
Rahul,
the fact of the matter is BJP does
Rahul,
it.
let
The
him
entire
speak.
polarization.
Let him
Just
speak.
one second.
Let him speak.
1 second. I'll just take one line. Just one line. Suvendu
Rahul,
Adhikari
let me
and
make
all
a
the
larger
BJP
point.
leaders.
Rahul, I want to...
Let him make his
just
point.
one line.
No, hang on. Listen, don't try to paint yourselves
They
in some
said
noble
Hindu
light, sir.
EVMs and
You have
Muslim
done. No, hang on.
EVMs. Is
You
that
have done.
being
You
secular?
have, sir.
Their
Please.
leaders
Should I
said-
tell you? Should I tell you what Rahul Gandhi said about Mamata
I'm sorry,
Banerjee
they said
polarizing
EVMs.
politics?
Let me
You
just
tell me
make
that
my-
Rahul Gandhi was being mischievous. You tell me that he was burying the
You tell me
hatchet in
accept
Mamata's
Hindu
back
EVMs
and
and
siding with
Muslim
the
EVMs. They say you accept
BJP. We
it.
didn't say that, viewers. Not the press.
Rahul,
Yes.
Can I just complete the point I wanted to make?
Please.
Rahul, this victory, actually everybody is seeing it as 22nd victory for NDA, one more chief minister of BJP. Actually, it is not that. This is a civilizational battle for BJP. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, our founder, came from Bengal. And Bengal has been at the forefront of this onslaught of demographic transformation, for the lack of a better word, which some parties have been doing for a long period of time for vote bank politics. This was a battle to save the soul and character of Bharat and not allow it to be overrun at the altar of vote bank politics. There was something far larger at stake here, and therefore for the BJP this is actually a victory that matters more than many other victories. And then to top it, there is the victory of Rekha Patra and the victory of the RG Kar victim's mother, Devnath ji, which also shows that what kind of situation women were facing in West Bengal. So in true sense, this victory is a victory of Bharat and Bharat's betis, and it is also a slap on the face of those who have opposed women's reservation. It is also a slap on their face.
Well, the political principles, viewers, are speaking, and they are painting a definitive reason for the TMC's loss. But there's an economic argument also, viewers, and I'll focus on that with Sanjeev Sanyal in just a few minutes. But I want to go quickly across to Komolika. Komolika, who joins me from the ground. Komolika, it's been a long vigil. Just tell our viewers a little bit about the conditions under which you have reported over the last 5-7 years. Let's be honest tonight. Put your hand on your heart and tell me about the pressures you have faced as a reporter. The repression, viewers, unleashed on free speech. Had only Mamata Banerjee heard, allowed herself to hear, maybe she wouldn't have been in this position. Am I wrong, Komolika?
Sir, Rahul, absolutely, you are not wrong, not at all, because you know the inside story, you know my stories, and you know the 5-year story which I have been, a lot of people have been facing, and it is a definite squad of people who had access to the highest point. And if you are criticizing about anything, then you are just BJP. So that is something which reporters out here faced. A lot of reporters out here faced. So that was something which was there. Right now, I would just like to also show you the historic win of none other than Shubhendu Adhikari, winning 2 seats, and Bhavanipur, that to more than 15,000 margin, is something which is historic, unprecedented, and you can see the hero of the day will be coming out in few seconds from now, and the entire, his supporters, BJP workers, and these are those workers who have been jailed, who have been beaten up, who have been, got so many cases, and lot of other operations which they have gone through. I was speaking to the chief electoral agent of Shubhendu Adhikari, Suryanil. He said that they have faced a lot of things, even in the strong room, even today till the last ball Mamata Banerjee tried to play out. But this is Shubhendu Adhikari clearly. This is not only the unprecedented win of Bharatiya Janata Party, the Parivartan out here, but also the biggest story is Shubhendu Adhikari now will be wearing a badge with a 2 times defeat. He has been defeating Mamata. He has defeated Mamata Banerjee twice. Mamata Banerjee, who was Shubhendu Adhikari's Gurudev, and I call him as a Karna of this Mahabharat. And now he has become Sri Krishna, and you can see the celebrations, Rahul.
Yes, we will come back to you.
These are those people, Shubhendu.
We will come back to you. I'm going to keep these visuals on screen. Komolika will be there. The moment Shubhendu Adhikari comes out, he's going to say something. He's going to respond to Mamata Banerjee. She's been completely on a tirade. Let me go straight across to Sanjeev Sanyal. Mr. Sanyal, there is also an economic aspect. There is a civilizational aspect which we will explore with David Frawley, viewers. But Sanjeev Sanyal, there is an very clear economic aspect, a vote by aspirational classes. The Sensex has reacted positively. Yes, the political principles are giving their reasons. Put this into perspective for us from an economic standpoint.
Well, this is my home state, so this is an emotional moment, of course. But let me say that West Bengal has now been in economic decline for over half a century. So if you went back to the 1950s, West Bengal was the 3rd largest economy in India, accounting for about 11% of the economy. Since then, it has gone into continuous decline, so much so that today it accounts for a little over 5% of the national GDP. Once upon a time, when you look back, Bengalis used to be famous for being entrepreneurs. 100 years ago, some of India's largest companies, Mohini Mills, Calcutta Chemicals, all these companies were, not just in Calcutta, but they were Bengali owned and Bengali built. And from there, we have come down to a stage where, at least 2 generations of Bengalis have left Kolkata for jobs. As I said, we are mocked these days as providers of household help in Bangalore and Gurgaon. Now that is a sort of a decline of a people that that really we feel, and so in a sense this mandate, in a sense, is one of aspiration, but also one about rebuilding Bengal to where it used to be.
Let me tell you, Mr. Sanyal, a BJP win by itself won't lift Bengal out of the economic doldrums, will it? Would it? Mr. Sanyal, can you hear me?
No, this is about long-term policy. This will take at least 10 years of hard work. But this is not only about Bengal. Do remember that the biggest sort of economic divide in India is between the eastern and western half of India. A lot is made about the north-south divide, but in fact, the real divide in India is east-west. And the eastern half of India is much, much poorer than the west. whether it is Bihar or Odisha or West Bengal and so on. And I think here there is an opportunity, given that all these major states are now ruled by the same party that is in the center. You also have an opportunity of bringing back Kolkata as an economic hub, because do remember, high economic growth is ultimately an urban activity. Whether, if you look at South India, for example, much of the growth is basically driven by Chennai, Hyderabad and Bengaluru. In Western India, it's Pune, Mumbai, Ahmedabad. Or in North India, it's basically Delhi NCR. So getting Kolkata to fire again is an important part of what needs to be done, not just for West Bengal, but for all of Eastern India.
Well, Sanjeev Sanyal, stay on. Chetan Bhagat, I'm also going to bring you into this because we'll ask what it will take to effect a reset. Just a quick one, viewers. Look at the bottom of the screen there on the left. That's Suvendu Adhikari. He's just come out of that counting station. He's holding up his certificate. Let's try to boost the nat on those pictures and hear what he's saying.
जितना मुसलमान वोट देने के लिए निकला, सब ममता को वोट दिया और मुझे हिंदू, सिख, जैन, बुद्धिस्ट लोग ने आशीर्वाद देकर जिताया। ये जीत हिंदुत्व का जीत है, ये जीत बंगाल का जीत है, ये जीत नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जीत है। उन्होंने 15 राउंड तक थी। जब उनका मार्जिन खत्म करके मैं 536 वोट से आगे निकल गई, तब उन्होंने भागना चालू कर दिया। मुझे खास करके जो बंगाली हिंदू एरिया है चेतला 82 नंबर वार्ड, वो खुल के वोट डाल दिया और सीपीएम का जो लूथ सपोर्टर है, हिंदू सपोर्टर, सब लोग वोट किया। सीपीएम का 14,000 वोट था भवानीपुर में, वो कम से कम 10,000 वोट मुझे ट्रांसफर कर दिया। मैं नीचे जो सीपीएम का लूथ वोटर्स है उनको भी आभार प्रकट करता हूँ। और चेतला में जितना भी बंगाली हिंदू है सब लोग खुल के वोट किया। इसका साथ गुजराती, जैन, मारवाड़ी, हमारी पूर्वांचली, सिख समाज, सब लोग खुल के वोट किया। मैं खास करके राजस्थान का 8 एमएलए को प्रणाम करता हूं। राजेंद्र राठौड़ जी का नेतृत्व में ये लोग बहुत काम किया मेरे लिए। और गुजरात से अशोक जी आया था, उन्होंने, उनका टीम भी बहुत मेहनत किया है। मैं सबको प्रणाम करते हुए एचएम साहब ने 2-3 बार फोन किया था, उन्होंने भवानीपुर लेकर थोड़ा कंसर्न भी था। मैं उनको बता दिया कुछ देर पहले, बाकी तो किसी का साथ बात नहीं हुआ। मैं तो फोन अलाउ नहीं था, इसलिए।
There you go, viewers. Suvendu Adhikari saying that the Hindus consolidated behind him and even the CPM helped him because they transferred their votes. Everyone wanted to see the back of Mamta Banerjee. Let me bring in Sanjeev Sanyal very quickly on that point. Sanjeev Sanyal, what will it take now to effect a reset in Bengal economically? We know the problem. We know that the voters have also voted not just to reassert themselves as Hindus in a state that was racked by appeasement politics, but also because they want to see their prospects improve.
Well, first of all, you do need to bring investments here. For far too long, and I would say for half a century, Bengal was essentially not friendly to any kind of investment, whether local investment and domestic investment or foreign investment. In fact, a lot of the politics of this region was in fact actively against allowing large-scale investment, whether it's Singur or all the labor strikes of the 1980s and 70s and so on. So it's been a very long time since West Bengal has been a friendly place to large-scale industrial investment, and that has to change. There's an opportunity here to do this, but this mandate perhaps allows serious relook at economic policies at the state level that have for a long time been tilted in a sort of ultra left-wing kind of way. These can now be sort of pulled back into something much more sensible in one shot.
Sanjeev Sanyal, thank you very much. He's a member of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council and also, of course, viewers, a proud Bengali. and he is speaking to reclaim his own land from economic destitution. Chetan Bhagat.
You know, the irony is, I mean, I agree with what Sanjeev ji said, and the irony is that when Mamta Di came for her first term, she removed the communist parties, and there was a surge, the blue surge in they said everything's going to change in Bengal now. Calcutta has everything going for it. It has smart people, it has intellectual, it has artists, it is low cost destination. Everything's going to move there. You know, real estate is going to boom, IT sector is going to move there. Bangalore is going to be the new Bangalore.
And our finance minister was...
It was the hottest thing.
Yeah.
And then second term, things slowed down, and by third term, it just... I'm just shocked when TMC knew after the second term that BJP's number one target is Bengal. It's personal almost, you could feel it. In the middle of COVID, hundreds of rallies were done, and BJP has taken 38 to 40% vote share. Why were they not understanding this? And when you come to power, removing the communist parties, how can you behave like them again? You know, and create the same thing that people need to get rid of you now, to think that maybe now the BJP will do something. And it's not going to be that easy, because it takes investor confidence, right? Okay, it's a good step that the BJP has come to power. They and other BJP states have investors coming in, but it doesn't automatically translate. There is still an image. You know, that Sangrur thing, everybody keeps giving that Sangrur example. Tata Nano is gone now, right? Yeah. And it's not there anymore. But that one withdrawal of by something as high profile as Tata, like a Tata could not do it. How will we do it?
In Gujarat? Is that factory working in Gujarat?
No, that Nano is no more there.
It's shut down.
What I'm saying is, but that one incident has created prevented 50 companies from coming there. And as far as you guys, I think you are doing something right in Kerala, right? Why is it not happening, translating elsewhere?
No, something right, because the left was there. The Adanis built a port there. Otherwise, these guys would have said the Adani is chore. Don't allow him in. That's another problem.
For 20 years,
that's another
Bihar
problem.
has continued to lag behind the country, but the anti-incumbency doesn't come there. Kolkata is the safest city for women as per the NCRB data. So I think we are looking at it from a very perspective that we want to see. Okay. I think there's a lot more layered discussion.
Okay, listen, I mean, Calcutta is not Patna. Calcutta was the capital of the country. It is seen as, if you want to compare yourself to Bihar,
GDP is down. Let me just show you the economic numbers. Tehseen Poonawalla. Now you say the economic data is also fudged. That's the problem, viewers. They don't accept anything. Just look at that. West Bengal's share in India's GDP has been collapsing. It is worse off today, viewers, than a large number of North Indian states. We are talking about a state that had 10% of India's GDP. It's worse off than Bihar today.
Are you saying West Bengal is worse off than Bihar?
It's there, my dear friend.
If that is
look
the
at
argument,
the numbers. I'll show you the numbers. I'll give you the numbers. I'll show you the numbers. I
on most economic parameters,
listen, I'm talking about GDP. Income. I'm talking about share in GDP. Please, I'm being very specific here. I'm not
West
picking.
Bengal outpaces Bihar.
Okay, 1 second, very quickly. Sharat Poonawalla. Gosh, this is their viewers. Look at them. Look at them.
Actually, let me explain it in a more different manner. What has happened in the last 34 plus 15, 49 years in West Bengal is institutionalization of political violence and retribution and deep politicization of every institution. These two phenomena in such a deep manner have not taken place in any other part of India, irrespective of the political power which has come to power there. In West Bengal, both the left and the Trinamool Congress have legitimized political retribution to the extent that unless you take the product from my cartel, I will come after you. Unless you back me in the political field, I will come after you. And the fear of entire situation that has been created has dissuaded people from starting any enterprise. It has killed enterprise. Bengalis are most innovative, entrepreneurial, they are most creative people, but they have actually literally choked creativity and enterprise in Bengal because of these two phenomena. And this needed to break, and therefore the BJP has been brought in as a panacea for this deep institutionalization of political violence and politicization of every institution. Every institution is infiltrated with TMC cadre. It cannot work like that in a democracy.
Well, viewers, let me just tell you, East versus West. Look at Gujarat. Same amount of population almost. But the share, Gujarat GDP, viewers, is so much more than Bengal. And that's one of the reasons why you had this egress of business. Let's talk about one big, massive company to set up shop in Bengal in the last 10 years. No one will be able to name one, viewers. Not one person.
Rahul, I was on that Hindi show and someone from TMC was there and I said, what, look at iPhone, it went to the south of India, it will not come to Bengal. You know what he told me on live TV? He said, why should Apple make iPhone? Some public sector company should make iPhone. We will make it.
My God. That's the attitude.
I mean, what do you say?
That's the attitude. Now, I'll tell you also, viewers, Kerala, in fact, is nibbling, a communist state, communist-run state, Kerala for 10 years is nibbling at Bengal's heels. That's how the situation is. That's how bad the situation is. Let me just bring in David Frawley. Let's ask him a little bit about how he assesses the developments today in Bengal. You've heard the economic argument, Mr. Frawley. You've heard the political argument. What's your assessment? How is it that the BJP has been able to breach the Diwani of Bengal?
It's obviously a wonderful day, and this is a monumental change in Indian politics, and particularly Bengal and Tamil Nadu. It's hard to say which is more important, but certainly a new era has come, and I would say that Tamil Nadu has radically changed, and the DMK is not coming back. They have been looting the state for decades. They have been damaging temples. They have been disturbing all the local people. So that is a wonderful thing to see. And Bengal, where the Indian independence movement began, had become under Mamta a movement towards Bangladesh, no longer a part of India. So it's very good to see that India and Bharat is rising again in Bengal, and Tamil Nadu, unbelievable, but a wonderful transformation owing to Narendra Modi and all the great work that BJP has done and will do for the future. The new India is there, and it is the Bharat revival is now going full forward.
Well, David Frawley, thank you very much. Thank you very much. But just look at those pictures, viewers. Those are pictures, Suvendu Adhikari, a little earlier today, just about 10-15 minutes. Thank you, David Frawley. Let's go back to some of our guests. I just want to make some closing comments before I bring in a very important guest, viewers. Walter Anderson, an individual who's written books on the RSS. But I just want to very quickly, viewers, tell you something that is quite significant. Look at the grid at the bottom of your screens. What do you see? You see the TMC at 77 and the BJP at 210.
Exactly what happened last time.
Exactly in reverse of the 2021 result, viewers. Exactly in reverse. The people of this country, you cannot fool them all the time, viewers. This is what it tells you. Closing comments. Shadad Poonawala, 77 is where the TMC is. It's almost poetic justice as far as the BJP is concerned. 3 to 77 was the BJP to 210, and the TMC going in exact opposite direction. Mr. Poonawala, can you hear me? Shadad Poonawala there? Can you hear me? Okay, I think we might have lost him there. Viewers, let's go straight across to Chetan Bhagat on that point, and of course Tehseen Poonawala. Yes.
You know, the closing lessons from today is, if you are new, you offer hope, you will be given a chance. Like Vijay has been given a chance, in 2014 Prime Minister Modi was given a chance, and then Arvind Kejriwal was given a chance. But then once you are in power, today there is a minimum expected standard of governance. Whatever you might say about BJP, you may say they have 100 flaws, no political party is perfect. Very few BJP states have a reputation of misgovernance, that things are going absolute mayhem, you know, chaos is going on. And that's the minimum standard India has come to expect now. I'm not saying BJP is the ultimate, others can't do it better, of course they can. But once you've been in power, you have to work hard to stay in power.
I think the freezing of the frame is done in the BJP spokesperson. I think the frame freeze is done.
Okay, 77 viewers is where the TMC has landed. The TMC is exactly at the number where the BJP was 5 years ago. It's been a complete mirror image flip. That's what's happened here. That's how comprehensive the losses of the TMC. Even Mamata Banerjee has bitten the dust, viewers, along with 6 or 7 of her cabinet ministers. Wipe out, viewers. It's going to have massive implications for national level politics. The polity in this country has shifted dramatically, and it's all happened in the run up to the Uttar Pradesh elections, which is, viewers, 11 months away. The campaigning will begin in about 10 months. The preparations have already begun, let me tell you. The BJP has already begun seeding the ground and preparing. 2029, viewers, the BJP enters the frame as a much stronger NDA. And one of the people who can take credit for that is on your screens, right in the middle of it, viewers. I'm going to now go across to Walter Anderson for getting a deeper perspective on how politics is changing in this country. Let's go straight across. I spoke to him just about an hour and a half back. Let's listen in. We're joined by Walter Anderson, an academic who has written extensively on the RSS. Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for speaking to us here on CNN News 18. I'm Rahul Shivshankar, your host this evening. Mr. Anderson, what a day, a watershed day in Indian politics. After Bihar, after Orissa, also retaining power in Assam, the BJP has pushed another frontier. A region of our country, Bengal, where many felt that the BJP would never be able to establish itself. The NDA today is stronger than it was after the 2024 general election. Talk a little bit about this leap, really, into this new frontier.
I was up all night, given the time change between India and the US, watching the results. And yes, it was a real leap by the BJP in West Bengal. And they increased their margin in Assam as well. And they had, I think 3 seats. Now, I had to sort of shut off before the final results came in, but I think it's 3 seats they have in Kerala, which puts a footprint there almost for the first time. What I was going to comment is on the international response. It's a little too early, for much of the international response, but what you do get is interesting. It's that the Prime Minister was strengthened by the results in these elections. You have the large state of West Bengal that is now in the BJP camp. You have the BJP gaining elsewhere as well. And the sense is, at least is represented in much of the press that writes about these things, is that Modi and India, when they engage in international relations, will engage in a strengthened position because of the stronger position of the BJP at home. I think there's a second thing I'm beginning to hear, is that this is an encouragement for people to invest in India. You have a strong, stable central government in a region that has many unstable governments. And beside that, there's a lot of prospectus for, Indian manufacturing and development. So my guess is this is going to also result in a stronger Indian push to get people to invest here.
What do you think has really led to this transformational victory of the BJP in Bengal? Many people are putting it down to a Hindu civilizational assertion, a fatigue with appeasement politics of the kind that is assumed now to be part and parcel of the secular tradition of this country.
I think that I've heard that many times, and many commentators say that it was the BJP had appealed to a Hindu sentiment. To a certain extent, that's true, that it had, but there's much more than that. But let's get to that first, since that's what you raised, is sort of the Hindu sentiment. What I have seen is that along the border districts of West Bengal with Bangladesh is where the BJP has done particularly well. And the reason I've heard, and I have had contacts in India, which I've been in touch with, is that the violence against Hindus in Bangladesh has had impact in West Bengal and elsewhere as well. That people are quite angry at that, and there's a sense that parties like Mamata Banerjee's parties and others haven't really done an effective job in speaking out for Hindus, whereas the assumption is that the BJP will certainly do that. So that's, I think, an important consideration to keep in mind in terms of West Bengal. Now, there are other reasons in West Bengal that it did well. There's a certain anti-incumbency in these elections, as you probably have seen, where Mamata Banerjee's party does very poorly, or considerably poorly, in West Bengal. You also have a similar situation in Tamil Nadu, particularly. That's a very interesting case in Tamil Nadu, where you have Joseph Vijay and his party, the TVK party, winning. And the two places where there wasn't a huge change were the two BJP ruled areas, Pondicherry and Assam, where the BJP stayed in power, in fact gained. So what you had, I think, is more Indians expecting more from their government, and I think you see that in West Bengal, where they felt the government wasn't really effective in developing and encouraging development in the state. My guess is that you're going to have the Prime Minister is going to push to have more development in West Bengal and other areas which have not really kept up with the development situation. And I think India is going to be a more interesting place as a result of all of this. And I think you're going to find that in Kerala as well, that the central government is probably going to encourage people to invest in West Bengal.
Can I ask you, sir, to cast an eye a little bit slightly from a distance and tell us how important was this victory for the BJP in the larger scheme of things in becoming really the default party of governance. And we're also going to be joined by Mr. Shashi Tharoor, who will be speaking with Nabila Jamal in just a few moments. But Mr. Anderson, yes.
I think this was important for the BJP as a party, governing party, and Modi as the Prime Minister, because it strengthens his position in New Delhi. The parties that did poorly were parties that had joined together partly with the Congress to provide an opposition, both to him and his policies. That's going to be much weakened. He's going to go into the next few years at least, with a strengthened position. And you have elections coming up, and this is probably going to help the BJP as well in those elections. So I think it's going to help him domestically. It's also going to help him internationally, as I was saying before. You're going to have people looking at India, which has a stable government, a strengthened central government, which is able to do things and construct a policy without having to worry that its issues are going to be undermined by an opposition, because you have a much weakened opposition who are no longer in a position to sort of gang up against him or the BJP in any significant way.
We've seen that the RSS has really done a lot of work. Mr. Bansal of the RSS joined hands very closely with Amit Shah. There's a spectacular photograph of them that's doing the rounds from a time and an era before. But the RSS doing a lot of preparatory work going into this election over the last few years, if not even a decade. Talk us a little bit about the RSS contribution here in arousing what many people say is a Hindu consciousness that had perhaps got eroded a little bit under communist rule and then after Mamata took over.
Well, I think that's true. There is a certain appeal of the BJP as a party that has an orientation in Hinduism, but it is not a religious party as such. It doesn't advocate any sort of Hinduism is much too complex to have a single religious orientation. It's more cultural than religious, but it is certainly, it's identified as a party that supports Hindu causes, and that's why I brought up the notion of the border districts of West Bengal with Bangladesh, because the BJP did well there, and the RSS helped in that. The RSS has a number of shakas and local units in West Bengal and elsewhere. And these local units in election time often provide the workers for the BJP. BJP in that sense has an advantage that no other Indian party does. The communists used to in the past, but no longer can they rely on a group that's attached to it, which they support. The BJP does, the RSS. Now the RSS is separate from the BJP, and they get very upset if you sort of compare the two, but they do support the BJP in many ways. One is supplying them with workers during election time, and that was true this time. They have no problem getting workers to get people out to vote and to advertise what the BJP is standing for. Other parties in India do. They don't have the workers. BJP has an infrastructure that is missing in many other parties.
Walter Anderson, my final question to you, I want to ask you, what does this mean nationally for the Bharatiya Janata Party now and for Indian politics as such, specifically ahead of Uttar Pradesh? Remember, in just about 12 months, UP will go to polls. It's very significant. The gateway to parliament, the gateway to 2029 is Uttar Pradesh. What does this mean nationally?
Well, nationally, of course, it strengthens the BJP, gives it more self-confidence about where it's going. And you mentioned Uttar Pradesh. In fact, I spoke last night with a friend of mine in the BJP from Uttar Pradesh. And they're already using the results of the elections to advertise themselves, that they are the party of the future and that they can do much for India. And of course, there are a lot of Bengalis who live in Uttar Pradesh. In fact, in many ways, the clerical upper class in the UP cities are Bengalis, and they will be influenced by the results of these elections. In fact, the person I spoke to is a Bengali himself who has lived in Allahabad for a long time, and there's a large Bengali community in Allahabad. So I think you're going to have a more self-confident BJP because of this, and you're going to have others looking at what they did and how they're going to rule. In fact, I'd be curious to see who their chief minister is going to be. I have a sense who it might be, but it's going to be interesting. I don't think any of the prospective chief ministers has been chosen yet, though there's an assumption that some of them will step into either existing positions or official positions or party positions.
Walter Anderson, thank you very much for speaking to us and sharing that perspective. Extremely important and critical assessment.
मैं इन सभी राज्यों की जनता का उनके समर्थन के लिए हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। साथियों, जय पराजय लोकतंत्र और चुनावी राजनीति का एक स्वाभाविक हिस्सा होता है, लेकिन 5 प्रदेशों की जनता ने पूरे विश्व को दिखाया है कि ये हमारा भारत मदर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी क्यों है। लोकतंत्र, डेमोक्रेसी हमारे लिए सिर्फ एक तंत्र नहीं है, ये हमारी रगों में दौड़ता हुआ संस्कार है, ये हमारी रगों की संस्कार सरिता है। और आज सिर्फ भारत का लोकतंत्र ही नहीं जीता है, आज भारत का संविधान भी जीता है। हमारी संवैधानिक संस्थाएं जीती हैं, हमारी लोकतांत्रिक प्रक्रियाएं जीती है। पश्चिम बंगाल में करीब 93% मतदान होना अपने आप में ऐतिहासिक रहा है। असम, तमिलनाडु, पुडुचेरी और केरलम में भी मतदान के नए रिकॉर्ड बने हैं। इसमें भी महिलाओं की भागीदारी बहुत अधिक रही है। ये भारतीय लोकतंत्र की सबसे उजली तस्वीर बन रही है। साथियों, मैं आज चुनाव आयोग के सभी कर्मचारी भाई बहनों को, जो भी मतदान से जुड़े प्रक्रिया के सारे कर्मी थे, साथ साथ विशेष तौर पर सुरक्षा बलों का भी मैं आज बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं। भारत के लोकतंत्र की गरिमाओं को बनाए रखने में आप सबका योगदान इतिहास हमेशा हमेशा याद रखेगा। साथियों, पिछले साल 14 नवंबर को जब बिहार चुनाव के नतीजे आए थे, तब मैंने इसी जगह से बीजेपी मुख्यालय से आप सबको कहा था, गंगा जी बिहार से आगे बहते हुए गंगा सागर तक जाती है।
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're tuned into our non-stop coverage here on Verdict Day, and if you've missed what an exhilarating day this has been here, it is 3 out of 5 for the BJP and an exhilarating day at least for the Saffron Party as they made inroads, breached fortresses that they never have up until now. If you haven't been able to catch any of those developments through the day, we'll take you through all of them over the next 1 hour. But first up, the headlines. Emphatic mandate for the BJP in West Bengal, over 200 seats across TMC strongholds. CM aspirant Suvendu Adhikari likely in Delhi tomorrow.
Prime Minister Modi ushers in the era of Parivartan in West Bengal, says politics of fear and appeasement will be replaced by aspirations of Bengalis.
Suvendu Adhikari is the giant slayer once again after Nandigram in 2021, now defeats Mamata Banerjee in Bhavanipur with over 15,000 votes.
The BJP scores a hat-trick, wins again in Assam under Hemanta Biswa Sarma. Gaurav Gogoi himself loses his Jorhat seat by over 20,000 votes.
It's a blockbuster like no other. 100 mark crossed in his debut election. Vijay set to become the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu.
Congress rides on anti-incumbency against Pinarayi Vijayan, scores in a century in Kerala, wins about 100 seats. Now fight for the CM's chair begins with multiple contenders.
West Bengal has turned saffron. The wave predicted by the BJP leadership has been made official. It's a landfall victory. BJP has expanded in the east. It's reshaped the opposition's balance of power. It's emboldened the centre ahead of 2021. The BJP's win against Mamata Banerjee catapults it into an orbit of its own. Bhavanipur has gone the Nandigram way. It is Mamata Banerjee losing out to the same man once again, and that's Suvendu Adhikari. In 2021, Suvendu beat Mamata in Nandigram. Now that's repeated in Bhavanipur.
Well, we did see Mamata Banerjee right after she found out that she was trailing. She came out to say that this is foul play, that she also claims that she was assaulted. She remains defiant, alleges vote loot by the BJP. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also, who came to the BJP headquarters in Delhi to celebrate, gave out a speech, a pep talk to the BJP cadre, seemed very happy to be winning 3 elections, that is West Bengal, Assam and Puducherry out of the 5. He said that this is a landmark moment for the nation. Dressed in a traditional dhoti kurta, you saw the Prime Minister there, he was wearing a dhoti kurta, beaming, and was all pride. The BJP swept victory in West Bengal. He called it a triumph of democracy and constitutional bodies.
साथियों, पिछले साल 14 नवंबर को जब बिहार चुनाव के नतीजे आए थे, तब मैंने इसी जगह से बीजेपी मुख्यालय से आप सबको कहा था, गंगा जी बिहार से आगे बहते हुए गंगा सागर तक जाती है। और आज बंगाल की जीत के साथ गंगोत्री से लेकर गंगा सागर तक कमल ही कमल खिला हुआ है। आज मां गंगा के इर्द गिर्द बसे इन राज्यों में बीजेपी एनडीए सरकार है। भाजपा ने जितनी सीटें जीती वो महज एक चुनावी आंकड़ा नहीं है, ये उस अड़िग विश्वास की हुंकार है जिसने डर, तुष्टीकरण और हिंसा की राजनीति को जड़ से उखाड़ फेंका है। जहां विकास, अटूट विश्वास और नई उम्मीदें कदम से कदम मिलाकर चलेगी। मैं आज हर बंगालवासी को भरोसा देता हूं, बंगाल के बेहतर भविष्य के लिए भाजपा दिन रात एक कर देगी। बंगाल में अब महिलाओं को सुरक्षा का माहौल मिलेगा, युवाओं को रोजगार मिलेगा, पलायन रुकेगा। पहली कैबिनेट में ही आयुष्मान भारत योजना को हरी झंडी दिखाई जाएगी और घुसपैठियों के खिलाफ भी सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई होगी।
Suvendu Adhikari is that giant slayer who's beat Mamata Banerjee once again. Bhavanipur, another bastion that the Mamata Banerjee and the TMC held, has been lost. 15,000 plus votes is the margin of victory for Suvendu Adhikari. He's gone on to say that Hindus have defeated this TMC's reign of terror, which is why Mamata Banerjee lost this seat. He's also gone on to respond to the allegations that Mamata Banerjee made about BJP stealing this election.
ये बहुत जरूरी था, ममता बनर्जी का हराना बहुत जरूरी था। ममता बनर्जी का राजनीतिक संन्यास अभी हो गया है। 21 में नंदीग्राम में हारी, इस बार हार गया। इस बार भी हारा 15,000 से ज्यादा वोट से। उनको खुल के मुसलमान वोट दिया। वार्ड नंबर 77 में जितना मुसलमान वोट देने के लिए निकला, सब ममता को वोट दिया। और मुझे हिंदू, सिख, जैन, बुद्धिस्ट लोग ने आशीर्वाद देकर जिताया। ये जीत हिंदुत्व का जीत है, ये जीत बंगाल का जीत है, ये जीत नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जीत है।
You have Amit Shah, who's responded to Bhavanipur's victory for the BJP and Suvendu Adhikari. He says, hats off to the people of Bhavanipur. Their mandate has made it clear that fate awaits an anarchic ruler. Well, this is Amit Shah, who's been the man to strategize West Bengal elections time and again. And this time he praises the people of Bhavanipur for making a decisive choice. He says, this time the people of Bhavanipur, their mandate has made it clear what fate awaits an anarchic ruler. All right, we have our reporters joining us, Pallavi, Kamalika, for a little more. All right, we also have Purnima, Neetu, Arun, Mayuresh and Ganapati. In fact, Kamalika, let me come to you on Suvendu Adhikari winning this Bhavanipur seat. What a big blow to Mamata Banerjee for the second time, and a whopping number 15,000 lead. That's embarrassing for the TMC, to say the least.
Oh, I think that's the biggest thing. Not only Parivartan is the biggest story, but the biggest story definitely is that Shubhendu Adhikari now for his entire life will be wearing a badge where he will have that badge of defeating Mamata Banerjee not only once but twice, not only in Nandigram but also in Mamata Banerjee's bastion by over 15,000 votes. Let me tell you, I was doing his campaign trailing, I was covering Bhavanipur from the very first day. I still remember the first day when Shubhendu Adhikari came to campaign in Bhavanipur, and from that very day he was super confident about Bhavanipur. Not only that, on the poll day we really saw Shubhendu Adhikari a type of sledging Mamata Banerjee. When Mamata Banerjee was sitting in Dharna, Shubhendu Adhikari was just roaming around, laughing and just going to the TMC camp, having cold drinks, talking to the people, and there was no tension in Shubhendu Adhikari's face. Today also, when he entered this Sakhawat Memorial School in the afternoon, and just now he left this Sakhawat Memorial School, he was super confident. That is something where he was, this Hindu votes will be consolidated. That was something which was very much known to Shubhendu Adhikari, it seems, and obviously thumbs up to the entire BJP's organizational technique and organization acumen, where they put Shubhendu Adhikari, and none other than Amit Shah came for his nomination, because this is Mamata Banerjee getting defeated in her own bastion, that too in Bhavanipur, is something which is absolutely, absolutely, it was unbelievable.
And by her close ally. That's the most interesting part, that Shubhendu Adhikari was once part of the TMC, her closest aide turned foe.
Once a lieutenant, now the arch rival and a giant slayer really. Will he be the next chief minister of West Bengal? Is that the reward that awaits him from the BJP? Kamalika, do stay on with us. In fact, we have more information that's now trickling in, and this is a reaction from Rahul Gandhi, Congress member of parliament and the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. Rahul Gandhi has now gone on to sound this vote chori raga. He's talking about Assam and West Bengal, and he says that these are clear cases of election that are being stolen by the BJP. Rahul Gandhi says, we agree with Mamata Banerjee. More than 100 seats were stolen in West Bengal. Pallavi now joins us, getting us more details on this. Pallavi, does this sound all too familiar?
Well, yes, absolutely. But two quick points over here. I find it a little bit of an irony, because when Rahul Gandhi had come here to campaign, one of his most fiercest attack was against Mamata Banerjee, where he accused her of running a corruption syndicate and thereby making it easier for the BJP to come to power. So she clearly blamed corruption as the reason why the BJP could win. Now, this is in stark contrast to a line he has taken. He did speak to Mamata Banerjee earlier today, and now he's made a list of state elections where the Congress or opposition has lost out. Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Haryana, and we've seen his PPTs where he has tried to give proof to show that how not just SIR but even otherwise the voter rolls, they are rigged, EVM machines are hacked and so on and so forth. I think tomorrow when Mamata Banerjee is going to do that press conference at 4 p.m. in Kolkata, she's pretty much going to make this point that this was an election which was stolen. She was forced to lose. She hasn't lost. It was not just about SIR, but it's also the election commission working in cahoots with the government, which is why the BJP keeps on winning elections. This could emerge into an axis of the opposition parties or a kind of revival, I would see, of the India bloc on this issue of, vote chori.
All right, Pallavi, thanks very much. Do stay with us, our reporters. Let me quickly introduce on CNN News 18, Leander Paes, world's most iconic tennis player who joined the BJP a little before elections, but Leander decided not to contest. Though he seems like the lucky mascot indeed. Leander, welcome.
Hi Nabila, thank you so much for having me on. Our lotus is blooming in West Bengal tonight.
Could you call yourself the lucky mascot?
No, our lucky mascot is our team leader, our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji. He is the powerhouse. He is the one who inspires us. He's the one who empowers us. He's the one who motivates us. And it is because of Sri Narendra Modi ji, Bengal has not whispered this time. Bengal has roared. It's a decisive mandate, a clear message. No confusion, Nabila, no doubt. This is the voice of the people who want progress, who demand for a better future. And to be led by the Prime Minister, who is really a phenomenal leader, to be sitting with him and him telling you that दुनिया भर का ताकत जो हमारे हाथ में है मैं आपके हाथ में देता हूँ. You have to motivate and empower the youth of the nation. That is 745 million children in this country through sports education. To me, that is the greatest honor, to play with the Tiranga and to make sure that the lotus blooms in Bengal, in Assam, and throughout our country. We've got a phenomenal leader in our Prime Minister, and it's a great honor to work under him and with him. Also,
right. You know, may I ask you, you've been stressing on how you want to create sporting opportunities for youngsters in West Bengal. You haven't contested though. I'm only guessing that you might just be their new sports minister. Is a ministry coming your way? Could I ask you that?
I play with a team. I've always played for a team, and we have a great captain and a great leader in Shri Narendra Modi ji. So whichever portfolio, whichever department that he wants me to work in, whichever way that we can work towards Viksit Bharat, through growing the country and making it a superpower across the world, I will put my best foot forward. I've built some great teams with Navrati Lova and Mahesh and with Martina Hingis, and I look forward to building a great team here in the leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji to make India a superpower through sports and sports education.
Leander, you spoke about teams, so I want to ask you this. Before your entry into the BJP, you were aligned with the TMC for some time. What made you change that? What was it that you saw coming? And do you think that's something that the people of West Bengal also saw coming, which is why we've seen this kind of emphatic victory for the BJP?
You know, what you talked about was in Goa, because I come from a Bengali mother, a Hindu Bengali mother, and a Goan Christian father. And that is my Indianness. For me, just as in tennis, India was not someone who won Wimbledon. India had not won an Olympic medal in tennis. So just like that in politics in Goa, I needed to come in and see how the people took to me, to see whether I fit the role of being in there. My passion is governance. My passion is not to get into a position where I'm only stuck in a state. I want to work for all of India. I've played for all of India across the world. I've won 20 Grand Slams for India. I've got the world records in Davis Cup and the Olympics for India. So for me to play for every single citizen of India, it does not matter whether you are Hindu, Muslim, Christian or Sikh. It does not matter what caste you come from. It does not matter if you're Gujarati or Punjabi or Bengali or Haryanvi. हम सब हिंदुस्तानी हैं और मैं हिंदुस्तान के लिए खेलता हूँ.
What made you choose the BJP? I mean, of course, Prime Minister Modi, you were enamored by his aura. You've said that many times. But to choose the BJP right ahead of elections in West Bengal, and also your take, you can answer this in two parts, on Mamata Banerjee losing her very seat of Bhavanipur.
So your first question, it's not just about being enamored by our Prime Minister, right? When you're sitting in front of the Prime Minister of India, there's a huge aura of the man. I think that he is a saint. I think that he is a godsend to be able to empower India. Just look at the crises that he's dealt with. Today, geopolitically, the world is in a vulnerable place. If you look at India today, we've got a great opportunity, not just of how in the last 13 years, Shri Narendra Modi ji has made us the 4th largest economy in the world, but we've got a great opportunity now to become a superpower. There is no doubt, Nabila, that the top 3 countries that perform in the Olympics are also the top 3 countries that have the largest economies in the world. My focus is there, is Viksit Bharat, is the Khelo India movement, is to bring the Olympics to India and then have a good showing. So to answer your first question, I think that the legacy that my Baba and myself have created over 2 generations of Olympic champions, I would like, through the Khelo India movement, to empower 500 million children under the leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji to make India a superpower across the world.
You spoke about playing for Team India and not for a particular region, religion or a state. Would you be open or would you want to be considered for a role that's outside of West Bengal in the near future as well?
Wherever our team leader Shri Narendra Modi ji wants me to work, I will work. I have not seen a finer outfit or a more professional unit than the BJP political unit. The way that we work professionally, the way that in the last 5 weeks of working with the party, the leadership of Amit Shah ji, the leadership of Nitin Nabin ji, the leadership of Sivindu Adhikari ji here in West Bengal, the leadership of the BJP party across the country is what the people believe in. Narendra Modi ji is a phenomenal face and leader of our team. People believe in him. People trust him. I trust him. I believe he is the man who will make India a superpower, not just in politics, but in governance, also in sport, in sports education, and making sure every woman can be a leader. Every child is empowered to be great leaders for India across the world. My passion right here is for Mother India. It always has been, it always will be.
You know, can I ask you, the infrastructure when it comes to sporting facilities in West Bengal, it's abysmal. And we saw Lionel Messi coming to West Bengal. He was so cheesed off coming to Kolkata, though he has the largest fan base and you know, Kolkata loves football, but yet we don't see national level seasoned players coming in from that state.
That program of Leo Messi coming to West Bengal was a complete shambles. It showcased, unfortunately, I feel sad to say this, my own city where I grew up and where I was born in the worst way. It showcased India in the worst way. I feel if an athlete was in charge of that sports program, the first thing we would do is to protect the athlete. The first thing we would do is to protect the reputation of our country and our people. I feel that when it comes to the difference between politics and governance, it's chalk and cheese, it's night and day. For me, governance is not just about talking. It's not just about shouting and screaming and saying things on a mic that you don't follow up. To me, our work starts now. In West Bengal, the people have believed in us. The people have voted us in. 205 seats. I had predicted 215 5 weeks ago.
Did you catch that pulse on the ground when you were campaigning?
I visited parts of Bengal I've not visited in the last 50 years of my life. Going there and interacting with the people. And this is something I'd learned from Goa. When I went down into the roots, into the markets, into people's houses, sat with them on their ground, shared their sattu with them or shared chai with them and spoke to them. You hear what the people need. Governance is about giving what the people need. And here in West Bengal, over the last 15 years, the decline has been so much that just bringing good law and order would show us in great light. Just empowering the education system would show us in good light. As you rightly said, Nabila, we've got a Sports Authority of India sitting 500 meters away from where I am, my home right now. If we can use that Sports Authority of India, of empowering the youth through sports education, putting food on their table, putting roofs over their head, putting shoes on their feet, giving them a chance to empower themselves and their families, empowering every girl child.
Yeah.
That if you play for Mother India, you are looked up to, you are respected. जब मैं बचपन पे खेलते थे लोग पूछते थे औकात क्या है तेरा? I used to go out there and say मैं Wimbledon जीतेंगे. लोग कहते थे पहले खेल के दिखाओ. Can you imagine empowering 500 million children over the next 20 years through sports and education? This is the mandate that Shri Narendra Modi ji is empowering me with, and I will do this to the best of my ability.
Leander, one last question before I let you go. You know, the BJP was always painted as an outsider party for West Bengal. That's something that TMC tagged you as well when you joined the BJP ranks not too long ago. Do you think all of those people within the TMC and otherwise have been silenced for good?
I don't think you can silence people in politics. They're going to get a mic somewhere and they're going to shout and scream. I figure that as long as we do our good governance under our leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji, the people will see. Our work starts now. I'm a perfect example of a person who's got Bengali Hindu genetics from my maternal side. I've got Goan Christian genetics. Hence, I've got a mix of what Mother India stands for.
Amazing.
We are one of the most secular countries in the world. We're also one of the most secular states in the world. Bengal, West Bengal, has a mix of communities. What I don't like is people jumping across the border, illegal immigrants, coming here, taking jobs that our Indians can use, taking passports that are illegal, and then doing Gundaraj here in our state. I don't like that. It's not safe for our women. It's not safe for our children in West Bengal. And I guarantee you, on our leader, Shri Narendra Modi ji's first agenda is going to be law and order. Is going to be safety for our children, safety for our women.
All right.
I want to give a big shout out to the CISF, to the CRPF guys who have come in. The last elections that were there 5 years ago, they suffered. There were deaths. There was bloodshed. The last 15 years has had that. This election, we have won. We are not out in the streets causing riots and havoc. We are out there looking at what our next agenda is. Viksit Bharat.
Leander,
West Bengal a state that is led by example through our leader Shri Narendra Modi ji.
we're so happy for you and happy for the party, and we wish you a very best for your future endeavors. Hope you turn around the sporting infra in West Bengal and henceforth even in the country if you get those opportunities. Really appreciate you joining us. Yeah, thank you.
Jai Hind.
Well, voices within the India Bloc alliance and the opposition ranks seem to be coming out together in unity to back what Mamata Banerjee has been claiming. Akhilesh Yadav is the latest one to come out and attack the BJP. He says, and I quote, "In the name of the electoral system, the misuse of central forces that has happened today in Bengal during counting of votes is exactly the kind of rigging that was carried out in most places in 2022 during the UP elections." Pallavi is now with us, getting us more perspective on this. Pallavi, Akhilesh Yadav too, echoing what Rahul Gandhi and Mamata Banerjee have been saying. He has in fact even cited some of the examples from 2022 UP elections.
Yes, Poonam is clearly building up to, I think, the India Bloc's plan to take on, one, the Election Commission. There's a second impeachment notice already pending in Parliament, but the India Bloc, which seems to have been divided, this is one issue which possibly could bring them together once again. So we'll have to wait to see what happens in Delhi, possibly next week. But tomorrow, not just Mamata Banerjee, but also Abhishek Banerjee are doing a joint press conference, and they're sure to raise this issue about vote chori, how SIR, and all these factors were brought about by the BJP only because they were desperate for a win, and that how the Trinamool Congress actually didn't lose, they were made to lose. Akhilesh Yadav's point is very similar to that of Rahul Gandhi, that there have been cases of vote chori or about the election commission is compromised, and the BJP is winning elections not because people are voting for them, but it is because they are snatching those votes, legitimate votes, away from the people and giving it to themselves.
Absolutely. So those kind of opposition voices will continue. We'll keep a track of that and how the BJP and the Election Commission most importantly responds to that. But for the moment, Pallavi, thank you so much. Shifting focus now to Tamil Nadu, where too history has been scripted. It delivered the most unexpected verdict. It indeed was a hero moment for actor turned politician and debutant Vijay. The state has delivered one of its most dramatic political verdicts in this entire recent history. It's a state that has long been defined by entrenched Dravidian dominance. We've seen a seesaw between the AIADMK or the DMK, but this time around there is a new force that has emerged at the top, and that is the TVK led by Vijay. It has secured the largest vote share in the very first electoral outcome.
Well, Vijay has started his party in 2 years ago. He promised and vowed that he's never going to ally with another party, and that's precisely what's happened. Without an alliance, Vijay has managed to get or become the single largest majority party in the state. He barely needs about 10 seats to cobble up that majority mark. Now, who is he going to take help from? That we've got to wait and watch. But Vijay's entry has not merely added a third player, it certainly redefined the contest in itself. As you know, he's really moved Tamil Nadu out of the Dravidian party phase, where Dravidian parties like the AIADMK and DMK have been the only two parties that have thrived in Tamil Nadu's political history. So this is the first party that has its name without the word Dravida. So, well, at the heart of this surge here lies the powerful convergence of cinema and politics. Undeniably, the factor here has worked like magic for Vijay. He has a fan following, and that seems, as much as one would think that the fans wouldn't turn into his vote base, it seems like that's precisely what's happened. Voter fatigue also, anti-incumbency, people being put off with the DMK regime, and well, it appears that the Gen Z has decided to give Vijay their mandate. Vijay has successfully positioned himself and his party as a fitting alternative to the AIADMK and the DMK. So the young, energetic, aspirational Tamils have decided to vote for Vijay. Purnima joins us for more on that. Purnima, never did we imagine this kind of victory. Surely he was a kingmaker, one assumed, but to be the king really, he needs 10 more seats to cobble up a majority there. What do you think is going to happen next?
Well, all eyes on parties like the Congress, the PMK, the left, whether they will form an alliance or offer support to TVK, we'll have to wait and see. Tamil Nadu Congress leaders off the record say that they are open to a post-poll alliance with TVK. Remember, there were speculations of TVK Congress before the DMK and Congress decided to contest together. There was a strain between the DMK Congress relationship when speculations were rife that TVK Congress may perhaps join hands. Several leaders from Tamil Nadu also made certain statements that did not go down well with the DMK, and now once again some of the leaders tell us that they are open to a post-poll alliance with TVK. So Congress, left, PMK, these are the parties to watch out for. Next 24 hours will be crucial. We'll have to wait and see what really happens. More statements expected from some of the smaller parties tomorrow on whether they will support the TVK. So all eyes on those developments over the next 2 hours. It's going to be a very crucial one as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned.
Okay. Great. Thanks very much, Purnima. In fact, I have with me joining us here Karti Chidambaram, who's a member of parliament, and he seems to be the man responsible for the Congress's doings in Tamil Nadu. Really has the party on his shoulders. Thanks very much, Karti, for joining us. How do you read Vijay's resounding victory?
Yeah, it's a spectacular win for a new political party to face an election without alliance and to, not to follow the conventional pattern of political parties. It's a spectacular win. This is a win for him personally and for his party. Candidates hardly mattered. He did not follow the protocols of other political parties. He just did about 7 rallies.